Baby, baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor, I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow my lady, just watch the shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality, TV, and so much more. Please welcome to the show some of my favorite people to talk about Housewives or anything in pop culture. Let's bring up first the Brooke, Ashley, and then Taria Faison. Okay, let me fix this because y'all know. Yes. Boom. We had a whole plan. Okay, welcome. Hold on.
Hey, Kempire.
Hey. Hey, boo. I got my sis here. One of my favorite, well, two of my favorite people, actually. I love y'all so much.
I love y'all more. We're going to have a good time.
Yes,
I am ready.
All right. So let me fit for those that don't know who these lovely young ladies are. The Brooke, Ashley, this side. Here on YouTube and her podcast. Make sure you follow. All of their information will be available in the description. And then what else is going on? Podcast host Taria Faison is here as well.
Thank you. Hello. Thank you for having me. Oh.
And I've collaborated with both of them, as you guys know, separately before. Okay. And I said, I had the bright idea, and I said, let me just hopefully they're all available. Come on and let's talk Real Housewives, everything. Because there's so many Real Housewives on right now.
I know.
Maybe too many?
I know. I feel like the Popeyes worker when the chicken sandwich came out and that picked that meme of her sitting down like this. That's how I feel. I'm backed up on all the recaps. I'm so late with my New York SLCOC. So yeah. So don't talk about it.
Listen, I told Corey, I started asking him for advice. I was like, do you think, so how many days a week should I do? Because I got to do this and I got to do that. But listen, it's okay to be backed up because y'all know I love content. So it's like the content will come out. Oh, boom, here come Brooke with hers. Here comes. So I love it.
Yeah, I'm glad you love it because as soon as Brooke mentioned Real Housewives of Beverly Hills coming, I was like, oh, God.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I was like, I get it. Content creator problems. But I think that's a question for as content creators for us to discuss. Do you think that this will affect some of the ratings for some of the other shows? Will people sort of like tune out? We had a desert, we had, nothing. Yeah. And now we have too much.
I remember the good old days when as I refer to it, Sunday, we were back in the black because we had Real Housewives of Atlanta, Potomac, and Married to Medicine. All the shows were good. And then later on in the week, we would have Beverly Hills and OC. And I felt fed, but also I was watching just once for entertainment purposes. And talk about with my friends. But I don't know. Do you think it could be almost like as a content creator, okay, if I put out 19 videos in 1 week, my numbers are going to go up. So with Bravo I'm going to put out all these shows, money coming in, advertisers, all of that, because this does seem like an awful heavy load that we're getting ready to get.
It is. Because I take, I spend a lot of time, the editing, and then to go back, it's a lot. Champagne problems, don't cry for us, Argentina. But, it's like, look, I got a social life too now. So it's like, I up in the studio doing videos all day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's a lot. I feel, in my opinion, the franchise that's going to get maybe the least eyes is New York. I think that New York is the weakest out of all of them right now.
Explain. Explain.
The premiere episode.
Okay, let's go there.
It did not need to be an hour and 15 minutes long.
Why? What was wrong with that episode, Brooke? I thought you loved them.
I mean, listen, I like the New York girls, but I didn't think this was not a strong premiere episode, especially when you pit it against OC's premiere and SLC's premiere. Those were both phenomenal premiere episodes. This premiere episode fell flat to me.
Yeah,
it fell flat. I have to be honest. I mean, when it comes to my list of priorities on recaps that I have to get out, New York's going to be getting bottom tier. It's SLC, OC, Potomac, and then New York.
Yeah. OC's killing it right now. I just watched the latest episode, and then of course the offline drama.
Yes,
OC's having an amazing season.
They are.
Yeah.
Taria, what do you think about this wealth of Real Housewives? How do you think that is going to affect Bravo, your work, the audience? Because very much like what Brooke was saying, the audience also has lives too.
Yes. Well, I agree with Brooke as in don't cry for me, but I want you to cry for me because I'm out also carrying passengers around and then I got to make time. So if y'all want to like bless the sister so she can stop driving, that would be great. So then I will be in the studio all day. No, just kidding.
I love the honesty. No,
listen, I'm like,
and it's so different.
Y'all might be getting recaps with passengers in the back. I might be like, y'all watch Housewives. Y'all want to get on this with me?
That would be fun. That's an idea.
Because I've had some passengers that if I'm listening to one of y'all or whatever, they're like, oh, you watch so-and-so, or oh, you watch so-and-so. And then of course, now I got to pause it and talk to them, which y'all know is not my favorite thing. But so I don't know. I feel like it's a good problem to have because we're not scrounging for material outside of, we all also talk about other pop culture things. So we are getting fed. For me, it's just managing my time and forcing me to be a bit disciplined because when I want to come home after working all day and hang out with Corey and watch other reality TV, it's like, technically, you want this to be your job. You're supposed to be taking notes and watching the show. You know what I mean? So
I don't love.
Yeah, it's and it almost feels like a lot of pressure because then for me, my two beautiful friends have put their stuff out and then I feel behind. I'm like, oh my God, everybody's put their stuff out and I'm so behind. Like, that's how I feel, right? Because one of my struggles is to make sure that I'm consistent and disciplined. So then it makes me feel, so it goes down a whole mental thing over Housewives. And it's like, Taria, it's not that serious.
I love your vulnerability.
No, don't feel that way. Listen, I'm behind on 3 recaps right now, so don't feel bad at all.
And look, I'm technically behind, but y'all helping me catch up. I gotta be honest with y'all. I'm gonna read. Kempire sent this text, Brooke. When I tell you, I thought we was like Felicia and was getting ready to go somewhere. I had to go back and read it. This is what he sent. Girl, I thought we was going on a trip. He said, I want to do a trip collaboration with you and Brooke. Do you have availability tomorrow? And I was like, well, I know we're not leaving tomorrow. I got excited about the first line. Like, you know how all these content creators are doing trips? I was like, oh my God, we're about to get a trip paid for. We all going to go together. Child, then I got to the next line. Do you have availability for tomorrow? I didn't even notice I said that.
I thought we were going somewhere together.
Sorry. I mean, we can, but just not today.
Not today.
As a tourist, I need to plan this a little bit more.
No, that was so funny. I had to laugh at myself because I had got super excited. I immediately thought I was going to be a content creator, you know, with a voiceover walking through some exotic place that we were all going to record.
Shout out to DJ Richie's guy. DJ Richie.
Yes.
He's involved living his best life.
Hey, yes.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it. One day, everyone tell me to do a Kempire cruise. So if we do a Kempire cruise, you guys will have to come.
Yes.
And that's how we'll do our trip. We'll give Taria a trip.
Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Look, y'all already know I'm very picky and choosy who I call friend or who I collaborate with.
Kempire. Brooke almost tried to divorce me. So let me tell you. The night that I sent you that picture of us out, I could feel Brooke's energy because she had texted me once, like the year before, hey, I'm coming into town. I couldn't make it. I was like, okay, so Brooke texts me, I'm coming into town again. And I was like, oh, okay, I have this, and this going on. And the text was silent for a minute. I said, but I'll be there because I knew I could feel her energy. If you don't come this time, we are done.
I said,
Lord.
you got 2 times. You got 2 times to flake on me, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, we bonded for life. The same with you, Kempire. If I can text you at 4 a.m. and y'all know I'm just texting to get it off my brain, we good.
Yeah. Luckily, my notifications are off until 8:55 a.m.
I see it. Push it through anyway.
Then. Guys, if you're just joining us, as I said before, this is the ultimate Real Housewives takeover with special guest Brooke Ashley and the host of What Else Is Going On podcast, Taria Faison. Both ladies have been here on the show separately, but I thought of the great idea, why not both of you come on and just us compete and catch up? Because we're Brooke and I are in the same city. However, Taria is all the way down in the DMV.
Shame. I'm in the M.
Speaking of, not the M, Merlin. Speaking of Merlin, Real Housewives of Potomac is coming back. Mm-hmm. I'm sure by now you've seen the interviews. You've seen the drama. They're talking about Karen Huger's DUI, except Karen. She's not talking about it. And with Dr. Wendy Asefo just did an interview with Entertainment Tonight telling us what we can expect. I want to know, I'll start with you, Taria, since you're from Merlin. Well, you're not from Maryland. That's where you live.
I'm a Jersey girl.
Yes, we know. What is your reaction and feeling? Are you excited about the Real Housewives of Potomac? What are you expecting from this new season? Let us know.
I'm going to watch it because I'm going to be honest. My excitement is only because they're Black girls get ready to come on and there's not a lot. But because of the different things we've experienced with Potomac throughout the years, the line keeps moving, the heavy discussions that we rightfully should be having. It's going to be such a pivot that it almost makes me wonder, is it authentic? Yes, we know the girls got a talking to, I'm sure, like y'all are going to get behind. But are we getting ready to watch true authenticity, or are we getting ready to watch, we all want this check? We're in our, 9th season? So we need to all get along. If we don't see relationships actually being rebuilt, then I'll be disappointed. Because, and I get why Dr. Wendy, I mean, you got to get along with all of them, right? Or most of them to have your job. So I get why she may have made up with Giselle. But if we don't see some real rebuilding, because right now for me, it just looks like, again, it looks like she has always wanted to be friends with Giselle. And I'm not saying that's what it is, but I'm saying that's what it looks like.
She responded to that in Entertainment Tonight. She was saying that you have to wait and see who created it, and we
need to see that moment. Otherwise, because it wasn't just last season they didn't get along. It was 2 or 3 seasons of Giselle trying to ice her out.
Stuff.
Yeah, where did you go? How did you get here? So I'm looking forward, because it's going to be more melanin on our screen.
Yeah.
And I want to see what's happening there. And then to see the Grand Dame dancing around, now bringing up, I'm having marriage issues now, to deflect from her getting ready to take out some trees in marriage, some cherry blossoms.
And she made sure, she said on Entertainment Tonight, I'm just so grateful. I'm in a state of gratitude that I'm safe and that no one else was harmed. This is her second DUI.
I was going to say, it's your second one. And the first one, if we're going to believe Charisse, you were in an actual rehab. So that indicates an actual problem. And the ladies have said you call and cuss them out. So that may be funny and cute. But if that's your thing, getting drunk, calling and cussing people out, now you're getting behind the wheel. And I get it. Losing a parent, especially two, has to be the hardest thing.
Yeah.
However, with that being said, when she got into that accident, she talked about Mother's Day coming. We were nowhere near whatever it was that was coming. If we don't get honesty from Karen and don't use the whole, it's a legal thing, I can't talk about it. Girl, ain't nobody suing you. It's your own thing. So with that being said, I am excited to see. I guess I shouldn't say excited. I'm sitting in anticipation, different than excitement, to see what they're going to give us.
Okay. Brooke, what are you excited for?
Come on, Brooke.
Housewives of Potomac.
So I saw the screener. I know that Bravo did put out the first 7 minutes of the episode. After watching the screener, but let me just start off by saying, at first, I wasn't that excited about, Potomac. I was like, I'm not going to watch it. The trailer came out. I got a bit excited. After seeing the screener, I can't wait, actually. I think that they had a very strong premiere episode, and I was pleasantly surprised. How do I say this? I feel like we're going to see some growth with certain individuals. I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm disappointed in Karen because for her to try to minimize a very serious situation that could have taken herself out and somebody else out is unacceptable.
Yeah.
It's all throughout again, I'm not going to spoil it, but if you saw the first 7 minutes that they showed, you see that when Giselle takes her out to lunch, she's deflecting and she has this annoyance with Giselle. And I'm annoyed because Karen, how dare you, when you've gotten on people throughout the seasons. I wasn't the biggest Robin fan, but let's be fair. The same way you pressed Robin for seasons on seasons on seasons about her fake marriage with Juan, you can't now be tight-lipped about your DUI.
Come on.
If this was anybody else, you'd be pressing them about it, saying, oh, I can't believe that. We don't do that in Potomac. That's not proper etiquette. That's not great manners. We know how Karen is. Karen has a very hard time with ownership.
Yeah.
A very hard time.
And if you watch the Entertainment Tonight interview, like, I'll say this. I wish that she would take some ownership, but after watching Dr. Wendy Cefel's interview with Bryce on Entertainment Tonight and then watching Karen's, I was so entertained by just her politician vibe of not answering. She's still just very humorous to watch. It's the way she ditches and dodges the questions like Little Kim. I'm just sort of, I'm like, okay, but the seriousness of this, the reality of this whole situation is that you got your second DUI. You really could have hurt someone.
Yes.
More so hurt someone else.
Yeah.
Yes.
For her to act as if, oh, well, woe is me because I was in an accident, but at least I'm not hurt. Yes, that we're happy that you're not hurt. We're happy that you are still here with us in the land of the living. However, you cannot use that as a way to deflect from the fact that what you did was wrong.
Right.
And I think that it makes it harder because we're watching in real time OC with Shannon Bedore, who is not only carrying the season on her back, but she's being very forthright about, I was wrong. I made a horrible mistake. I'm sorry. I'm working it out right now. Please forgive me. And we all respect that. There have been no excuses on Shannon's end. She has taken it on the chin with the lawsuit with John trying to trash her and Alexis. She's just saying, you know what? I did it.
Well, let's be honest. I think the whole John Jansen of it all and Alexis of it all really did help people soften towards Shannon.
Yeah.
So we will revisit that. We will revisit that when we talk about the Housewives of OC.
Yes.
But are you both excited for Potomac?
I am. I'm excited.
Okay, Brooke has gotten me a little bit more excited now.
Yeah.
She's I will be seated.
No, I think that it sounds like Giselle is going to be the one who approaches Wendy about them making up and reconciling. So I'm happy to see that. In that that screener in the 7 minutes of the episode, it looks like Giselle is trying to take a softer approach. We haven't seen this Giselle, I feel, since season 1. Yeah. Because let the record show, I actually liked Giselle season 1. I was a big fan of hers. The tide turned for me around season 2, season 3. I was like, whoa, this is not the woman that I like. But I used to love Giselle. I went up for her. Yeah. And it will be nice to see her go back to the person that she was when she first joined the show, because she's been completely unrecognizable, a complete mean girl.
But is it the real Giselle, or is this a Giselle that's trying to survive because this is her biggest paycheck?
I think that's what it is.
That's the problem for me. Like, I'm going to watch it with an open mind and an open heart. However, I know that the producers and she knew for herself, regular Robin's no longer going to be there. So she's going to need allies. And she already knew that people have been with their pitchforks. She needs to be fired. They would have rather see Giselle go before regular Robin than anyone else.
Yes.
So she knew she had to pivot this season. So I just have to see if it translates as real. I think the real Giselle that we saw was the real Giselle the last few seasons, not season 1 and 2. The real Giselle has been here the last few seasons.
Yeah, her best friend, Erica Lyles, who Ray allegedly wants to lick up and down, per her.
Come on,
whose ex-husband recently stepped down from his position.
Sure did.
Has said that when she first...
Diddy? Is that what?
Right. Which, by the way, side notes. Okay, I'm because there's a tie-in, you saying that. But her friend literally said when she first met Giselle in college that Giselle was very nasty, like mean. But then now she's also saying, well, because Giselle was in the sorority and she was pledging, so she was really, but it took a while for Giselle to really like open up, and now they're best friends. Side note to that, you talk about Diddy. So, I have another podcast that I started 8 years ago, but it's been on hiatus for like 4. And one of my guests was Jamal Bryant, and he talked about basically going from a storefront preacher to this as the rock star preacher and the falling into the other women, because I asked him about all that. And he said, you go from preaching a sermon to the Super Bowl hanging out with Diddy. I remember he said that like when all this Diddy stuff and people are like, who was hanging out? I was like, he talked about that. He talked about hanging out with Diddy when I interviewed him all those years ago. I just thought that was funny. I was like, say that again.
Clip that and post.
Yeah, you know what? Let me get on, because all the episodes are still out.
As a disclaimer, I will say this: just because you hung out with Diddy doesn't make you an accomplice to whatever he was doing. But we also know Pastor Holy Whore's record, so I'll just leave it at that.
But I do think that the Giselles we've seen for the past few seasons there's a part of her own children have said it. Yes, they love their mom, right? You love your mom, but her own children have said that she is mean,
Damn, my own children.
I guess we'll have to see. I mean, I hope that the conversation between her and Wendy is genuine.
Yeah.
I hope that, because I think that's going to happen like episode 3 or 4. We're going to see the sit down conversation with Giselle and Wendy. So it's going to be coming earlier in the season. Thank God. Yeah, I mean, I think I like how Wendy did address that article that painted her out as desperate.
Yes.
She did address that on the Entertainment Tonight interview that you were talking about with Bryce. And she said, just wait and see. I know that's what it looks like, but it's not really what it is, But I mean, I still do. I mean, like you guys have all said, I have always felt that there is this longing to be friends with her.
Yeah.
I've always felt that way. Like I'm going to take what she's saying at face value. I'm going to wait and watch the rest of the season. But I still do feel like deep down inside, there has always been a little small crumb of wanting Giselle's acceptance and friendship.
It's a pattern, though, with the girls. Do you think it's because the girls see Giselle, how the network has fronted her as the head girl? Because you think about Candace, we saw a crumb of the same thing. It wasn't until the Chris thing that pushed her over the edge. But then even after that, she was still willing to have a conversation. Yeah. Wendy, how Ashley and Giselle are close now when Giselle and Robin were coming for Ashley's neck for seasons. All of the women have made a concerted effort to get past their issues with Giselle. And I think it's because they saw how the network positioned her. Like, that's the girl right there.
Is it a sorority thing? I mean, the sorority thing didn't stop her from, dragging Wendy in her marriage. So I don't know. If it's a sorority thing.
Yeah. Because remember, she even said she didn't care about Wendy when Wendy got whacked upside her head by Mia in season 7. And that was her sorer.
So then there's that. Before we move away from the Real Housewives of Potomac, guys, you're just joining us. This is the Real Housewives Takeover, the ultimate Real Housewives Takeover with my guest, the Brooke Ashley, and of course, Taria Faison from the What Else Is Going On podcast. I'm not going to be able to get all that out. Stacey has been described both by Karen and Dr. Wendy as being a mix of Mary Cosby and Katie. What's her last name?
Ross,
right.
And I was like, oh, so she's kooky. Yep. And I kind of like that for us.
What did you think it was kind of strange that Wendy said that? Because Katie was not on when Wendy wasn't on when Katie was on. Wendy joined season 5 and Katie was fired season 4. So I was kind of surprised that Wendy made that comparison. I would see Ashley or Karen saying that, but not really.
She's a fan.
Well, it's different though as a viewer versus actually being on that cast. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah. I get it.
The comparison when Wendy said it, I was like, well, you weren't on the show when Katie was on there.
No.
So is that accurate for you to say that? I
wonder if she's met Katie.
She probably has.
Maybe. I mean, I think we will decide for ourselves once we see it all play out based off of the trailer of what we've seen of Stacey. She definitely seems like a pot stirrer.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be go like, oh, a Mary Cosby,
Like,
all right, let me see what this is about, because I think this show needs a little levity and light energy. So maybe she'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
we need somebody saying, "I'm sorry, I said you were dumb. Maybe I meant you were stupid." That's what we need.
And we have a full cast, because think about it. We have Kierna as a full-time host, and then we still have the other one. We have the other one. No, I forgot what's her name. So we have Jacqueline. Jacqueline is now a friend of, and then the other woman. The other woman. There's 3. So we have 2 friend ofs, and then we have Kierna and Stacy or Stassi as a full-time. So it's like 8 of them or 9 of them now on the show now.
They needed it though.
Yeah.
I want to know about Giselle and Stacy or Stassi, because a couple months ago, Giselle, was she at DC?
Yes.
Wake Up in the Morning or something, and she said, y'all fired her, didn't y'all? About Stacy, because she used to work there, and she threw out that shady comment like, y'all fired her, didn't y'all? And I was like,
that's the real Giselle.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned Mia, and I just have to say, although we love Potomac, Mia be lying. The way Potomac has fallen to have Mia on with a man who don't even have a real first name as the lead of the show, in this blonde wig, in this not green, in the color of Kemp's water bottle green dress, and everybody else got on forest green.
She is the queen.
Please. Not in this lifetime or the next.
Or the next. And the one after that.
Oh.
I said, now we got this. I mean, we want I know that as viewers, we can sometimes be a bit much for these housewives, right? Because we want them to move on, but y'all feel fake moving on. So I get it. I know that we could be a lot, but I'm just looking at this like, I heard somebody call it Love and Hip Hop Potomac. I said, probably. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And I don't want us to fall, like, we are the Bravo girls. You know what I'm saying? We are not VH1. Now, I love my VH1, don't get me wrong, but we are Bravo.
Well, that is a perfect segue for us to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta's newest cast that's coming. We know who the cast is. However, what we don't know is what the season is going to look like. Based off what you've seen play out on social media, yes, Kenya will be there for a hot second. Mm-hmm. But according to my sources, they are definitely talking about what went down during the season. So they're not cutting out Kenya and what played out. So they're definitely discussing it. Allegedly, I'll just say.
Right? We're going to see the scene go down. We're going to see the scene
as
go
much
down.
as we can. I don't know if we're going to see the whole thing in the mouth, but but yes, we're going to see all of that and then the fallout from all of that. So first of all, I'll start with you, Brooke. How do you feel about Kenya not being a part of this entire Sweet 16 season?
I'm upset. This is a letdown. I feel, especially with Portia coming back. I wanted to see them reconnect and reunite. But I'm upset about it. I grew to like Kenya in the later seasons. I felt that she had done like not a complete 180, but maybe she did like a 95-degree angle or something. When she had Brooklyn, we saw a softer side of her. I do feel that way. I'm really upset that she's not going to be on Sweet 16. I don't really care so much for Phaedra. I mean, Phaedra was great on The Traitors. I loved her there.
Amazing.
She was phenomenal. But I don't know. I just, Shamia, I just always looked at Shamia as like, okay, like, I don't know. I'm just not really, it kind of took the wind out of my sail when Kenya left the show because of this whole nonsense.
As a fashion girly, I see a lot of people reacting to Shamia's fashion. I didn't realize that Shamia couldn't dress.
Yeah.
Until recently. I was like, oh yeah.
She dresses like an early 2000s cubicle girl. Material girl. No, you're not. Not in that way.
And some people are noticing that Shamia and Portia haven't really been around each other recently. Look, they've been best friends for a very long time. I could see them having a little bit of a fallout, but they've been friends for a long time. So I don't think there's anything there. But what about the new girls, specifically maybe Brittany Edie? I know Kelly came out recently and revealed that her divorce was finalized. I don't really know a lot about her, but a lot of people have a strong reaction to Brittany Edie because she's associated with Kenya not returning.
Right.
Taria?
I feel like we have to give her a fair shot. I'm like Brooke. I wasn't a fan of Kenya either. And I'm not saying that I'm necessarily the biggest fan. However, I have seen a different side of her, and she was an intricate part of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And to see her go like this, I didn't like it. It was a big disappointment. It's like, come on, like let her deal with the fallout on the show with the ladies, whether they ice her, whether they feud with her. You know what I mean? Let us see that. I'll miss her. Now that Brittany Edie, I'm going to give her a fair chance. And maybe I can say that because I wasn't the biggest fan. Although, like I said, I turned a corner on her, but I do want to give her a chance because I mean, if somebody showed a picture allegedly of me,
oh God,
it would be like walking out mad. You would have to close down the set possibly. Like, girl, why would you do like, come on. That's like, so I'm not going to hold that. It's not like that was extreme. Like that was an extreme measure to take. Right. And yes, like she said, it was disappointing because girl, Kenya, you're so much smarter than that. Kelly, something about her makes me like, oh, like I don't know.
Why are you jumping back?
Like, because there's something with Kelly. I feel the spirit through the screen. Like, is
what?
She
really?
Yes.
Kelly's
I don't know what it is.
For those that don't know, Kelly's the one in the middle, right next to Brittany Edie with the phone up against her ear. She's wearing a red. Okay, so that's Kelly.
Every picture of her I've seen, I feel like her eyes aren't there. Like she is somewhere else. And I'm like, and then I'm like, okay, well, are we going to see the drama play out with her ex that he was put in jail because he wasn't paying? Allegedly, he stole from the business. All of this has been going on recently.
Her drama.
Her drama is real drama. So are we going to see that? Or what, Kelly, are we going to see? And then evidently alliances have been switched up. It was Brittany and Kelly. Now they're saying it's Kelly and Shamia are together. I'm looking at this cast and I'm like, I like my middle-aged adult women with almost adult-ish type children. Like looking at the cast with Kenya and Cynthia there, and then with the rest of the ladies, they don't fit. Like in the picture, it doesn't seem like that. I want our Kenya. I want our Cynthia. I want our Portia. But I'm going to be fair to the new girl. I'm going to be fair. Drew was pretty to look at because she be lying. So but Atlanta has my heart, even during the worst seasons, because Atlanta is what brought me to Housewives because they look like me. And they were so beautiful, all different shades of chocolate. It's not like a Potomac where there was one shade specifically. So I'm always going to give Atlanta a chance, but I'm going to be ready to light fire if this season doesn't give us something. I
mean, a lot of fans are already, you know how the Bravo universe is. Yeah. They're already done with Atlanta. They say that now, but even at their worst, Atlanta was still doing big numbers. I'm excited for watching it. I'm keeping an open mind. I will say a lot of what they've already shared, I feel like they've shared way too much on social media talking about the season, which kind of turns me off. But I'm still going to watch it with an open mind with these newbies and see if I like the chemistry amongst all of them or if I don't. We shall see. I am disappointed, like a lot of you were saying in the chat, about Kenya and what she decided to do at her own grand opening. And I feel like she put herself in this position that she's in. I know you mentioned, Taria, that maybe they should have allowed it to play out because that's part of reality. The other reality is that this is a work environment. And if she did what she did, I mean, forgetting fired for stuff like that. Yeah. Not saying that she was fired, because according to reports, according to her sources, she was not fired. They both decided mutually to part ways.
Yeah. That is a good point. If this is supposed to be reality, that you would not be there in the workplace anymore. And the workplace may allow you to say that you left. Or if you know you was get ready to get the axe, you may get the one up and say, okay, I'm not coming back. Well, we was going to let you go anyway, but okay, you're not coming back. So yeah, that is a very good point. And that could be considered a hostile work environment. Yeah. Well, it would have been, because if it was me, I'm telling you, I'm not a fan of, listen, it's violence. The answer, no, but sometimes it's a yes. And I'm
Well, here on the channel, we do not promote.
we do not condone or bullying for that matter.
Or bullying. Well, speaking of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, one of the biggest news in the last few weeks was that NeNe Leakes seems to be back under the NBC Universal umbrella, hosting the after show of the Emmys. And word on the street, they were in mediation, NeNe Leakes and NBC Universal, after she sued them, then dismissed the lawsuit, and was in mediation for God only knows for how long. Yeah. And it was a surprise for all of us to hear that she would be working with NBC Universal. Yes, it was under E, but that's owned by NBC Universal, for those that didn't know. Brooke, how do you feel about NeNe Leakes being back within the fold, and what do you think that means?
I think that NeNe is really trying to tiptoe her way back into Bravo. And the excitement that she felt and that she showed getting to host the Emmys after show. Do I think that this opens the door for her to come back on Atlanta? I think that there is maybe a small hope. I think that it will only happen if she does a sit down one-on-one with Andy Cohen, Watch What Happens Live, and she apologizes to him on live TV. That will be the only way that she has to do a little bit of ass kissing. And I mean, when you think about it, though, it's not really ass kissing. It's just, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Just making sure. But there's a little bit of that involved when you publicly disparage your boss who signed your checks and call them a you-know-what head, and also, so the apology.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Apologies have to be made. So I could see, and remember, he said publicly, she told me to keep my name out of her mouth and I will respect her wishes. I will never say her name again. He said that.
So that was shade.
It was shade. But again, where can you call your boss disparaging names out their extracurricular activities about what they do in their personal lives and still think that you should have your job and get a paycheck? Because let's think about it. When he was signing those $2 million checks every single season, she loved him. He was the best. He was the man. Now, all of a sudden, you're demoted to friend of the show, and now you hate him and you're bashing him, saying that he's this and that. I'm just saying, I think that the only way for her to get back on will be an apology.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just, I wish that she would have did, even though she irks the soul of my soul. When Tamara was offered those 3 episodes to phase her out, she said no and quit, waited a couple of seasons. They brought her back. If NeNe could have just at that point, but also I can see if you're watching your coworker, Kim Zolciak, through all these years, be treated differently than you. And then NeNe was, let's be clear, the network pushed her and she was the face of Atlanta. And now you're trying to offer me 3 episodes. And then everything that you've ever felt about this company is like, oh, I'm releasing it all. I wish she had went the way of Mariah Huck and kept all. Mariah wasn't coming to YouTube every couple of days saying all these things. Mariah had her lawsuit, got her settlement, did what she needed to do. She didn't disparage Bravo. I don't think NeNe is lying. I think NeNe is right. And I believe everything she pretty much said, right? No. But I wish she could have handled it differently. But also I feel like with NeNe, it was about her ego too. And she was probably embarrassed. She built Atlanta. Let's be clear, and I think it was a little bit of, she built, and Watch What Happens Live, all of that. And then to watch other people come in, it's like the Kenyas and to see how the net, it's like, so I get why she did it. I wish that she had it selfishly because I never wanted to not see her on my TV. I do wonder if they're going to see how well Atlanta does this season, because we know they see how the public has cried for NeNe for years. And listen, we're not saying that one person can save a show, but that one person can have such a dynamic personality that affects everybody else's personality that we've now made it a show.
But to counter, I agree with what you're saying, but like all the commenters are saying, NeNe's ego killed her career. NeNe got a big head. And I think that NeNe needs to take ownership that she got the big head, and that's the real fall of why she's not on the show anymore. At the end of the day, you can be the face of the franchise, you can be the star, but you still need to come back down to earth. You cannot let your head swell up. And also, the network and Andy, they don't like it when they feel when a housewife makes it known that they made the network or they made. You can't say that. There's a way to handle things. People saying, "Oh well, Nene was right." You can be right and handle things the wrong way. You have to be strategic. Exactly. Silence. You have to be. You have to know how to move. You can't show your hand. It's like in poker. You can't give away all your cards. You have to know when to hold stuff close to the vest. You can't just say everything that you want to say. Like,
oh, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And Nene went about this the wrong way. You can't do that. And she has nobody to blame but herself.
Like I was saying, like with Mariah, how she handled her. She was going through the same thing. But Mariah handled her silently. We didn't even know.
Through her lawyers.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will say this. I'm sure if I was speaking to Nene, I'd be like, you know what? No regrets. Because the path that you forged in the last few years since leaving Bravo probably taught her a lot. And how to move forward. And if anything, it's made people want to see her more than ever. And that's why I think if she does come back to Bravo in any shape or form, it's going to garner big ratings. Even though ratings were already slipping when Nene was still there.
Yeah.
It's still going to bring in a lot of ratings. An interview with Andy Cohen and Nene is going to bring in ratings.
Yes.
RHOA legacy trip with Nene is going to bring in ratings. Nene coming back for season 17, even if it was just a friend role, is going to bring ratings. Nene hosting something on Bravo is going to bring ratings. And that's just a better fit for her than some of the other things that Nene has done on Lifetime or Zeus.
Come on.
Don't do that again, Nene.
Like ever. Like you said, humble yourself.
Yeah.
Apologize. Because like you said, she could have been. I had to learn that. Where I used to work, my vice president would tell me, you're right in pretty much everything you say, but the way you handle it is wrong. I had to learn that because I would be like, it don't matter. I'm right. You see what is happening. And she was like, we can't operate that way.
Yes, it's the way you say it. Because you can pretty much say anything. It's just the way you say it, the delivery. If your delivery is crazy, the message gets lost.
Yeah.
And I think about how when we do our recaps, when we're talking about these people, we know that we still have to go to events when they're there. I can't say but so much about we shade and throw light shade, but to call somebody out their name, I've never done that. I always keep the shade at least comical and funny because I know that I have to interact with these people, interview them. You can't burn every single bridge. Yeah. You can't just say, oh, I hate them and da-da-da-da-da, and I hope that. No, you have to learn how to rein it in. You can't say everything that you think, especially in the entertainment business.
Which is a great segue. For those that are just joining us, this is the Ultimate Real Housewives Takeover with my special guests, Brooke Ashley and Taria Faison from the What Else Is Going On podcast. And of course, me, your host, Kempire.
I know where you're going.
To me, it's a perfect segue. And honestly, I had my points of where I wanted to go, but I just feel like it's just a natural progression because what Brooke is saying, it leads me to the conversation about Joe Kim Booster, who is apparently the host of Love Hotel. Shannon's on that. Ashley Darby is on that. Jizzy's on that. Giselle Bryant is on that. And Countess Luann. And for those, I'm not going to go through everything that he said, but basically at the last day of, I guess, their rap party, he decided to go on live and then go on his Instagram story and blast Shannon Beador, saying that she's a horrible human being. He wishes the worst for her. And honestly, it's one thing if you were just sort of like, you met her and you had that experience. But we found out that he was the host.
Right.
And it's like, oh, okay. I'll start with Taria and then we'll come back to Brooke, and Brooke segued us into that. Taria, your reaction, because you sent me some of this.
You saved that for your group chat, for your friends. Like Brooke says, as we've interviewed some of these ladies, we've talked to these ladies, I may send y'all what I think about some of the housewives, i.e. OC. We'll talk about it when we get to it. But I'm never going to say all of it publicly.
No.
Right? Because it's none of their business what I think about them like that. Just like it's none of my business what people think about me like that. Right? Plus, there's certain things you don't say. When I saw that, my thought was, is he feeling himself? Meaning, does he think that he is in a position to do that? Which it don't matter what position you're in. But in my mind, I'm thinking because he's been in entertainment long enough to know better than to do that. And then not only, even if he had went on a podcast and said, my experience wasn't the best, like Brooke said, and my mom used to always say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. But to say you wish her the worst and then bring her daughters into it also was something that if I was Shannon, I wouldn't take too kindly. So I was really shocked, like, because I said to Kempire, this really him? Like, because this can't be really him. Like, this has to be a different. And to say, I know they're going to make me delete it. It's like, oh, you think you've become like a housewife. You feel like, oh, Joe, that they love you so much that they're going to overlook that bad behavior. You've become one of the house. You become what you hate.
Say
Brooke,
that.
Brooke.
I was shocked.
What was your reaction when you first saw this play out, Brooke?
So my reaction, I was shocked. I retweeted all of it because I was like, wait, am I really seeing this? Like, everybody has to see this. I was in pure shock. The audacity and the gall for him to do that. First of all, let's talk about how the show hasn't even aired yet. They just wrapped filming. Yeah. So at least maybe wait until you go on Watch What Happens Live with Andy and he asks you about, like, how'd you like hosting it? Then you throw some shady digs like, oh yeah, Shannon, oh, she was a mess. Like that one right there. I don't know if she'll ever get a man again. Something like that. And then you move on, right? You can do some cute shade, keep it at that. That whole entire rant, that's what you say to your friend.
Come on.
You don't go anywhere on camera. You say, Mom, this mother, and I can't stand her. I wish because let's be real. There are people who work our nerves and we will say what he said about somebody, but we do that in private.
Yes.
We're not saying that to subscribers. We're not saying that on some stuff just for your friends and your, whoever's close.
I will say, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I will say some folks will say to subscribers, and that's how we find out some people don't like us. But that's just me.
That's true. That's true. But and then when we clap back, then we're the bad guys. You know how that goes.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna play this a little differently because I have a human resources background.
Oh, okay.
The first when I saw what he wrote on his Instagram story, I said, well, if he is the host, there is a non-disclosure agreement. So if something's playing out in regards to the show, he can't say anything. But then I thought it through a little bit more. And I said, well, no, he's talking about inappropriate behavior in the workplace in regards to who he's working with and how she's treating other employees, which, bravo. I hope that you guys are investigating this because no matter how you feel about Joachim Booster, he is alleging misbehavior, a toxic work environment from Shannon Bedore. Because two things can be true. What he did was unprofessional. He could have ruined his career. That shouldn't be the standard if he's calling out bad behavior from an employee.
Yeah. And
at the same time, Shannon Bedore could be a hot mess behind the scenes, which, sidebar, allegedly, I've heard she is.
Yeah.
This is not the first time.
Same.
So I just wanted to play a little bit of a devil's advocate because I know a lot of people this season are like, whoa, Shannon, you've been through it. And me too. Because, I have a little soft spot for Shannon, even though I heard she's a hot mess behind the scenes, allegedly. But I think those two things can be true. What he did was unprofessional, and maybe that's not the route that he should have taken. But how is no one talking about, was she terrible behind the scenes? To a Black woman?
And my thought was, and I'm sorry, but when I saw that, I was discussing with a friend, shout out to my friend Carlos, not King. I said, if this was Nene that he had said this about, in my experience with the Bravo fandom, that would have been the discussion. Is she terrible? It wouldn't have been about Joel if it was a Nene, if it was a Giselle, if it was a Karen, if it was a Candace. The discussion would have been about them being terrible, not about Joel. But this is blonde-haired, privileged Shannon, who almost took the whole house structure down and could have left somebody homeless. How do you do that? In the words of Angie K.
And don't forget about the dog that was in the car.
And the dog, yes.
Poor Archie.
Poor Archie. Archie is through with her too, though. Archie said, I don't want to lay down. I don't want to lay down. But so I found it interesting the way the audience has, a segment of the audience has turned it, like you said, they're not responding to, well, they're not saying two things can be true. They're like, oh, poor Shannon, another attack. Now,
and,
Joel,
and bullying, I'll say this, they're also bullying Joel. Yeah. Look, you might not like what he said or did, and you can call him out for what he did, but tagging him and talking like, oh, you want to be that's what, the fandom, Bravo Universe will always do. You want to be a housewife so bad. Yeah, no, I get paid more.
Listen, because some of them are making pennies on the dollar, especially if you come in as a newcomer.
You saw basically paying to be on the show.
What's his name? Christian Siriano said on Watch What Happens Live. He was like, oh, how come you haven't dressed the housewife? He's like, they don't pay.
They don't pay.
Well, a lot of them shop at Rent the Runway.
Because me and a couple of them have had the same outfits. I can tell you that.
A lot of them shop at Rent the Runway.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, I recognize that. I rented that for an event.
There's no problem with that, but I think Bravo likes, especially in this day and age, I think in the past, we had a lot of housewives that really had money.
Yes.
And I think now the percentage of housewives that really live that life and really have money is really small.
No, yes. I think that some of them are cheap. I think that some of them are very cheap because the whole cast of New York, it was like the season 5 or season 6 reunion. They were all those sparkly, badgely Mishka dresses. That was Rent the Runway. That was Rent the Runway. And yeah, they all.
You said season 5 or 6. We are on season 15.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. This was back in the day. Ramona, Sonia, they all had Rent the Runway. And I'm like, why are you renting $100 dress when you guys have money? It doesn't make any sense. It's so silly.
Well, maybe they feel like I'm going to keep my money. But New York was never New York is not, fashion wise, it was never that girl. Yeah. I don't feel like.
Very
yeah. And then Bethany came and was trying to be that girl. And it was like, I don't like this either. But I see what you're saying. Like, we expect our housewives to even if you fake a little bit, not fake, but I mean, housewives has changed.
Well, we'll get back to Real Housewives of Orange County, but since we were talking a little bit about Real Housewives of New York, and I know, Brooke, you shared a little bit of how you felt about the premiere. Taria, I'm going to ask you, how did you feel about the premiere of The Real Housewives of New York and the beef that's brewing between Brynn, apparently at the very top, Brynn and Uba, but this episode, it was Brynn versus Aaron and Sai.
I enjoyed it because I wasn't sitting there with my teeth and behind clenched, like, who is going to say something dark about somebody's husband, racism, sexism. Honestly, it was like, oh, this is great. They arguing about her being too poor for an Uber. Oh my gosh. And about if she hates Jenna Lyons. I can get into it now. I'm not sitting like this and my blood isn't starting from my feet boiling. I enjoyed it. I will say this. I struggle. I twerk on the fence, as Kempire says, because I want these housewives to be themselves. Yes. And I know people didn't see it for Sai last year. I saw it for her. Now, maybe because I felt bad because when we was at BravoCon and me and Kempire were actually sitting together watching the first episode of The Real Housewives of Miami, and I went into one of the rooms and Sai was in there taking pictures, and I had said to the security guard, oh, I want to go take a picture with her. And he was like, go ahead. Nobody's really been talking to her since she's been in here. So was like, oh. So, but a part of me is it's good when they get self-awareness after seeing them on camera. Also, I was like, Dag, have you changed? Are you not you anymore? But I feel like maybe it truly is a self-awareness thing. I don't know. I did kind of like how they broke the fourth wall a bit. Like when she's like, when you see yourself on camera, you don't like how you look or whatever. So I enjoyed that. Listen, the people may come for me. I clocked Brynn's tea season 1. And I still feel the same about her. Yeah, she light and ha-ha, kiki, bubbly and fun, but something to me is sinister underneath that smile and that fake bimbo-esque, because you ain't spreading it low and laying it wide like you say you are. That is a cover that you are using, okay? And if you keep on, somebody gonna end up in that mouth, because it's something about the way she'll say things that's a lie, and then the way that she gets a look in her eyes, almost like.
I agree.
I
agree. I almost fell for it last season. But I definitely in the first episode of New York, I was like, oh, she's a liar.
Yes.
She likes to twist the truth and then spin it. And then Sai called her out. And Sai, don't you let this Bravo universe
come on.
I know they try to bully you to make it like you are terrible. No, you are a very important part of why last season is brought back with this season with the entire same cast. So don't change. Okay, sorry, Brooke, what you want to say?
No, I'm screaming. You said she's sinister. I said, oh my.
There's something brewing. She was the one that would get her brother to do something bad when they were little and come back and be like, but grandma, I told him I didn't want to do it. And now the brother then got popped and you back there laughing.
I'm screaming.
I'm really not violent. I'm really not.
I'm reading this completely different. I feel like pretty much everybody on this cast is trying to produce themselves, and I can't stand it. They're overly aware of the cameras. They're overly aware of what the fans said. They're not letting the storylines flow. I just feel like Erin is too tightly wound. It drives me crazy. I'm like, girl, this might not be the show for you. Erin is always whining about something. Uba looks good. Great gowns, beautiful gowns. Great Aretha Franklin, but she's not doing it. Sai is boring. Jenna is not giving us anything but, again, great gowns. It's like we're not getting any story about her and her new fiance. Like Rebecca Minkoff, she's not. I mean, and again, she was lovely at the premiere party that I went to 2 weeks ago. Rebecca Minkoff, I mean, nice, but I'm not getting the storylines. Everybody's too pre-produced. Everybody's too nervous about how they're coming across. I want y'all to just be.
You know who I blame? Eric Fuller. I'm playing Eric. I'm playing. Well, he is a producer this season. Sorry. But no, here's the thing. There's something, and it might be what both of you are saying. There's something missing within this cast. Yes, beautiful gowns. Everyone looks great, can dress. There's just something missing in regards to what was the magic of New York. And I think I'm a little biased when it comes to recapping the show. For those that love it, you biased. It's a show. But because I'm from New York and I love anything New York, I give them a little bit of grace. However, I always feel like there's something missing from this cast, and I don't know what it is exactly. But I do agree with you, Brooke, that I feel like there are a lot of people very self-aware, self-producing, and I disagree, though. I do feel like Sai was probably one of the only people last season to give us a lot in regards to her own personal story. So if this season doesn't want to give us any personal story, I'm okay with it.
But she knocked us over the head with a personal story, though. Every single episode was, oh my gosh, my mom, and I was 2 years old, and we didn't have a Christmas tree, and I'm like, okay, thanks for telling us that. But we got that every single episode. Every single episode, she wants to talk about her, a sob story. I don't want to hear a sob story every single episode. Every single scene. Where I got to break out the tiny violin. It's enough already. Can we just talk about some girl stuff? Why are we talking about, oh my gosh, I was wearing the same pants. It's like, oh my gosh, can we talk about something else, please? She's talking about her. I'm like,
wait,
listen.
With that being said, Sai, if you ever watch this, don't change.
And you could have answered my email back last season when nobody probably had wanted to talk to you, but I was one of the few podcasters that probably really wanted to talk to you and get to know you more. You could have answered me, but anyway.
Send a follow-up today.
I'm going to send it today. Because I was really riding for you and getting ate up about it, too.
Did you cover that at BravoCon?
No, it was after BravoCon.
Oh, okay.
I should include our picture because I still got it and said, I know you remember me. I was one of the only one. All right. But anyway, that took a picture with you. But did you catch something that she said in the confessional?
What?
And it made me think about, because we know how rumors are. So, they say that allegedly Sai's husband was with someone else when he met her. And in the confessional, she said, I was a sugar baby. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. And I was like, Is she talking about before he was her husband or somebody different? Because let you tell it, you didn't have anything before him.
Yeah.
I was like, I wanted the producer to be like, who was it? And her and the new lady, I had to keep focusing on the confessionals. They look alike.
Mhm.
Raquel, yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
what do y'all think? Do you think Raquel is interesting?
I mean, it was the first episode. I'm gonna give Raquel some grace. I like her vibe so far, but it's the first episode, and she's a newbie. I'm gonna give her some grace. Everyone else, not so much.
Okay.
With Jenna.
What about you, Brooke? What did you feel?
Yeah, what did you
Bored?
Beautiful gowns.
Great gowns, beautiful gowns. Wait, can I spill some? This is like a little tea. Okay, well, this is not blazing hot tea, but
Look.
when I was at the premiere party at Chelsea Factory for New York, a great time was had. They had the red carpet, Jessel, Bryn, Uba and Jessel were there, and then Raquel and Rebecca Minkoff. Jenna and Erin didn't attend, and Sai didn't attend either. But I was talking to Rebecca. She was cool. Got a picture with Bryn. She was cool, whatever. And Raquel, I was just asking her, how does she like being on the show? Who is she still cool with? Whatever. And when you're having a conversation with people, you should be maintaining eye contact, right? So you know how a lot of these industry parties, she's low-key like scanning the room while I'm talking.
Yes.
She's trying to see who else is there. Like, she's trying to scout. So I'm just like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to compete with your attention. So I'm just like, okay, cool. It was nice talking to you. See you soon. Can't wait, to see you on the show, But I just said, okay, girl. I said, yeah, I got you. Like, I got you, girl. I got you this season.
This is why I don't like meeting them. Because you see a whole other side.
But several of them left early. Like when they're supposed to be they're supposed to be going to these, when they go, they're supposed to be at the parties for pretty much the whole entire time.
Yeah.
They are literally, okay, let's talk about Jessel for a minute.
Okay.
Because Jessel, now the party started at 7.
Taking a sip.
No, listen.
Taria, wait, Taria, what you drinking?
Cranberry juice, mind your business.
The party started at 7. I got there about 7:15, 7:20. The red carpet's from 7 to 8. The party ends at 9:30. So when they're done at the red carpet with their interviews, it's literally like 8:01. And do you know that Jessel literally leaves like the minute she's off the red carpet? Like she's out. And I'm like, girl, it's only 8:01, 8:02. Why are you leaving? You're supposed to be here till at least 9.
Right.
At least 8:45 to mingle and talk. And it's an industry party. So it's like, it wasn't really any fans there. It was all content creators. You have Page 6 there, whatever. So it's like all industry people. Bravo execs are there, whatever. So just like, girl, what do you mean you're leaving at 8:01, 8:02? It was just very bizarre. And can I say something? Her energy at BravoCon, no ma'am.
Oh.
Because when I had met her before, I had interviewed her last year on the red carpet at the Rainbow Room.
Yeah.
So sweet, lovely. When I saw her again at BravoCon, she looked like, she not talking to anyone. She's doing this with her. You guys saw the picture that I posted. She's standing like this, not talking. I just said, girl, if you can't get all the perks and the benefits of being on the show and being famous, and all of a sudden now you don't want to interact with anybody. That's not how this works.
Because everybody hyped her up, making her think that she was
Thank
the star
you.
of the show.
I was getting ready to say that.
But in her defense, as someone because Brooke, because when we've hung out at these events, I'm like, I'm leaving Brooke at this time. She's like, no, stay. I'm leaving at this time. They come to the after party. No. Oh.
Yes, she has a big ego. She has her ego, I think, is the biggest out of everybody's on the cast, Jessel's.
I could see that. They really hyped her up. They
really
did. Hyped up her mediocrity a lot.
They did. They did.
But I have to say, her glow up this season, she does look great. I'm not going to, all of them look great. But I have to say, she definitely had a glow up this season from her first season. just in my humble opinion. Okay, we're going to move on from Real Housewives of New York. Let's move on to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Guys, you're just joining us. This is the ultimate Real Housewives takeover with my friends, the Brooke Ashley and Taria Faison from the What Else Is Going On podcast. More information on following them will be available in the description. Make sure that you do so you don't miss out on all of their amazing content. And don't forget to follow me if you're not following already, and subscribe to the podcast. Okay. All right. More information on everything Kempire and the Brooke Ashley and Taria Faison will be available in the description. And don't forget to like this video as well. That way other people will discover all three of us and this fun time that we're having over here with over almost 1,200 of you watching.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, y'all. I hope you guys are having fun.
Yes.
I know I am. Okay, let's talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and what is standing out to you. I will start with the Brooke Ashley. What is standing out to you? Like, how are you feeling about this new season, despite the ratings?
SLC is really in their bag. I'm loving this latest episode. They need to move Brittany on up to a full-time cast member. Her and her delusions over this man who is not her man. She needs to stay on. I mean, I'm loving this. Angie K is activated.
Yes.
I do want to say with Heather, what is your storyline? Because she can't keep harping on how she feels so jaded and guarded about what happened with Monica last season. That's wearing thin with me. This whole beef that she's trying to create with Bronwyn, she's dragging it. Especially, how can you call anybody a liar when you lied for an entire year and a half about who punched you in the face? So I'm just like, yeah, girl. But yeah, other than that, SLC they are doing it. Mary Cosby is activated. She's engaging. I'm loving her friendship with her and Angie K. Chef's kiss. I'm loving
friendships, brewing between her and Bronwyn just because they love fashion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm loving it. I'm loving SLC. Oh, Meredith too. Meredith, girl, where is your storyline too? And I like Meredith.
At least she created one. She's going to get bat mitzvahed.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. I know, listen, being from New York, I've been to so many bar mitzvahs, fabulous, a lavish affair. The food is always amazing. However, what else is going on, in the words of Taria?
It's true. It's true. Because here's the thing. If you really go back over the last 5 seasons, that's one of the things I've always said about Meredith. It feels like she's not giving us her true self. Like, girl, head on over here to New York and show us the men that you're sleeping with.
Come on.
Because it's not Seth. Allegedly. Allegedly. Let's move on.
Baby.
Mary Cosby is suing that company that was working with the church for like $6 million. I mean, she's hilarious. This week's episode, she was talking about the tampon and that's what she uses, but she doesn't use public bathrooms.
Listen.
So both of you, have you ever done that? Because I can't use the tampon.
I said, wrong hole, Mary.
Absolutely not. And I said, I'm not going to get too graphic, but I will say all vaginas aren't created equal, because there's no way I could do that just putting it there. All holes aren't created equal. Absolutely not. There's azo pills for that will stop you from having to go if you need that for a day or two. And then laughed about it. And then she said the super. I said, we really not all out here created equal. Absolutely not. Mary.
I agree. I feel like, I was like, isn't that unsanitary?
Very.
Yes.
Very.
Absolutely. There
are a lot of people that do not want to use public bathrooms as well.
I get it. Don't drink nothing before you go. I could just not drink anything.
Don't be passed out with me in the club.
Girl, they got Taria and Kim. She just ain't drink nothing all night long. I was taken aback, and I said her urethra is, I don't know, is that how you say it? She's dealing with something. Mary, I want to know who told her that. Did you learn that by accident?
She's been doing it apparently for years.
That is crazy. Mary, you've told us a lot about you without even telling us a lot about you. I hope you know that.
How do you feel about Bronwyn? She's the newbie on the block. How are you feeling? Now her beef this week was with Lisa, and she called out Lisa for not defending her in the argument that Heather brought up. Heather, you were throwing Whitney under the bus the first episode, and now all of a sudden you want to be the bad weather cousins again. It's weird to me. It's giving fate to me. but that's just me. But Bronwyn and Lisa had their beef. Bronwyn came in hot this week, basically throwing Lisa under the bus for talking about Maylee's returning things to Nordstrom.
What I like about Bronwyn, she is not a housewife that just says, you were talking about them. No, she said, I was talking about them. And so were you. So we're all going to, and when the way she handled, when she was telling Maylee and said, so I heard that you're worried about my outfits, but you might want to be worried about what Lisa is saying. And that's all I'm going to say. I was like, because sometimes they'll dance around it or something. Like, I felt like she came in and just fit like right in. Yeah. She just came right in and she's in the things. And it's not like, it doesn't feel like to me, she was like, let me get in where I can fit in. No, it was natural. Heather came for her at that lunch. She came right back. And when she said, now listen, I'm not going to run over her. What's the saying about the bus? Roll over her with the bus, or what's the saying people say?
Throw her under the bus?
Yes. I couldn't get it.
I was like, wait, huh?
When she said, I'm not going to throw her under the bus, but I'm going to turn the bus on. I was like, okay. I liked how she stood her ground, because look at Angie has gone up against Lisa, and Lisa just put on her glasses. I hope we can continue this another time. Lisa ain't go back and forth like that with Bronwyn. Bronwyn stated how she felt, and that was it. And then told Heather, and I'm going to let you know, we need to clear some things up with our friendship. I said, come on.
Okay, Brooke, how are you feeling about Bronwyn this season?
I'm not going to make my final decision until episode 5.
Yeah, you wait
5 episodes until I make my final decision about a newcomer.
Yeah, you were ready to throw what's her name under the bus.
Ooh.
What's her face? Raquel.
Well, I mean, listen, her staring and looking at her scanning the crowd while I'm talking to her, that kind of knocked it down a few notches now. So let's focus.
She got to work her way back up.
You know, she can crawl her way back up, like Taria said. Okay, but no, Bronwyn is coming in with more meat than I feel Raquel is. Just my humble opinion. But on top of that, I think that with Bronwyn, she's definitely not going to back down. The way she gathered both Lisa and Heather, she had that authority. She had that bass in her voice. She said, now look here, you better come correct when you talk to me. She said, you guys all get messy, but when I get messy, it's a problem. Oh no, we're all of us are going to get messy, or none of us get messy. I said, oh, that's how you do it.
No, she's holding her own. She's definitely holding her own. Her kooky fashion. I mean, if this is how she's always been, I can appreciate it. And her kooky fashion definitely feels more high end as opposed to costumey. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like she gives try hard energy a little bit? Because just her moving to SLC, us finding that out, I was like, oh, okay. So you weren't always living here. You were living, it sounds like, in New York with me and you, you know, and I know
coming down the street. You also have a different nose, so it could have been that.
Right. Oh, that's true. But I mean, she said they moved to SLC a year and a half ago. So I said, oh, you moved back to be on the show? That's what it's giving.
It could be. It could be. Or maybe she, Salt Lake City is popping. I'm going to give her grace. I mean, I think she's a good addition. Yeah. I love the fact that Mary Cosby's back full time.
Me too.
That son of hers, though.
Oh, did you see the late breaking news that just came in?
What happened? He got arrested again?
Well, this is according to the Jasmine brand. Court documents obtained by the U.S. Sun show that Robert was supposed to appear before the judge on August 15th in Salt Lake City. His attorney informed the court that he was getting help at an inpatient facility, but now he has just entered rehab after testing positive for cocaine, fentanyl, and marijuana.
Whoa, jeez.
I mean, with all that stuff, he still feels like...
Yeah, the hearing's been moved to October the 10th. The date has been pushed back again, with the next hearing now set for the end of November. The court has ordered that Robert must appear in person at the next hearing. It's unclear when exactly Robert entered rehab, but based on the timeline, it appears he began treatment sometime after July 19th.
But quick question, though. Where did he get the money for all this? Because he was up there asking Mary for $60 when she landed in Milwaukee.
From her, and she not
asking $60, not for a sandwich.
From her, and she not asking where, because of the guilt that she feels, and probably I feel like with Mary, when she was talking about how she's not, it's one thing for especially to see Black affluent parents be able to just not push their kids out and help them, but you can also cripple them and enable them.
Yeah.
And I feel like part of that comes from, he's probably seen some crazy stuff and he's probably had to deal with a lot. And now she's trying to make up for it. So she ain't asking what he's doing with the money because she don't want to know, because she don't want to have to say anything to him. If I dare one of my kids to say, can I live with you? Me and my husband live with you. Me and my wife live with you when you're still in your teens. And then you ain't got no job. And I don't know you.
Is he still married though?
I was waiting for wife to come down in the scenes, but I didn't see her. So
was he even married? Because he said, because when Mary asked him, "Are you married?" He didn't say yes right away, did he? Didn't he make it like a maybe, or like he said something? I don't remember. I don't think it was a yes. But yeah, they said he enters treatment. But I just
thank you for the breaking news.
Yeah, somebody just texted to me, and I was like,
"Who texted to you?"
Shout out to my friend Carlos, not the king.
Oh,
but I'm going to say this though.
Go ahead.
Back season 1, Mary had a cocktail of a lot of things in her room. That didn't she say they were supplement? Like it was. I remember looking like, what is she taking? That's. So I wonder if there's a lot going on that house, or there was a lot going on in that house, and he had access to some of the stuff that was going on, even if it was prescribed to her, because there was a lot. I was like, oh, so she got a lot going on.
I mean, that's a pretty serious situation. We definitely wish him
yes,
the best, but we can definitely see her relationship with him is not helping the situation.
Yes.
If anything, she's enabling the situation. But I'm not a parent, so I let the parents speak.
and I also feel like she probably feels like if I have him here, then I can keep my eye on him, which is still not the best way, because look at where we're at right now.
You know what it is? Ultimately, I think that it's a case of just not being fulfilled, because even when you don't, when you come from means, yes, you have your parents to help you, but you still have to have a hobby of your own and still get out there and find your passion, because you see it all the time. People who have money, if you're bored, you're not fulfilled. And that being your unfulfillment leads to things, because you don't feel, you don't have a purpose in life. There's no reason to get out of bed. And I feel like with Mary, this show has given her a new found purpose, because other than that, yes, she has the money from her step grandfather and her mother, her grandmother, but there's nothing there. It's just money. And when your money and boredom is a terrible mix, you need to have some passion. There needs to be a why of why you get out the bed. And
that's a good point.
That.
Where is Robert Sr.? The last we heard, he was in Vegas.
Isn't he in Vegas? That's what I was going to say.
He's probably still there.
I feel like we ain't never going to see him again. Like when Tamara ran off and said, "You'll never see my face again." I feel like, because a lot of the stuff that we have heard about Mary and the rumors, I feel like it had a lot to do with Robert Sr. Like maybe behind some of that stuff. So I don't feel like we're going to ever see him again. But that is such a good point, Brooke, because what they say, idle mind is the devil's playground. So that is a good point. Yeah. Somebody said they starting to believe it's the Carlos King. His name is Carlos Harris.
Rahina, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate the support. Rahina says, "What? No, not her second DUI. Hi, my faves." In regards to Karen Huger. Thank you, Rahina. Zoe, thank you so much for the super chat. Zoe says, "I already don't like the new girl. She better be worth it to lose Kenya over." In regards to Brittany Edie on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm glad I remember these things. Lady T, thank you so much for the super chat. Lady T says, "Happiest of Fridays, people. Thanks for getting me through this last work day of the week. Much love, y'all." Thank you so much. We appreciate the support. Guys, you can also support just by liking the video and subscribing to our special guest, Taria Faison and the Brooke Ashley. All the information is available in the description. Rita, thank you so much for the super chat. Rita says, "You three are hilarious."
Thank you, Rita.
I don't know about me.
Kempire, you have a smart tribe. And a good looking one at that. Oh, he's coming through the comments. I'm peeping Zoe's red lip. I'm like, come on. And then you got Lady T. I said, come on.
I have to say, when I meet some of the young ladies that are subscribers, I'm like, if I was straight, I would have a plethora to choose from, because I have a good looking group.
You would have to duck it like, oh, no, 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 no.
Like, wait a minute.
Yes, especially at your live shows.
Oh yes.
Mhm.
Listen,
Mhm.
Sorry, ladies. I already told you if you didn't watch my recent recap where I told you, not till I'm 90 will I consider a woman as a companion only. Companion only.
I'm screaming at companion only. Hey,
Adam,
Adam.
thank you so much for the super chat.
Hey,
Adam
Adam.
says, my girl, shout out to Brooke and Taria. Love you both, the best reviewers. Yes. Thank you so much, Adam, for the super chat. We appreciate the support. All right. Anything else in regards to Salt Lake City that we did not talk about or cover that you ladies wanted to mention?
What do y'all honestly think about Lisa? I know she's here for the show.
Barlow, Lisa Barlow.
Lisa Barlow. I almost feel like, I don't know. I feel like well, Heather and Whitney, of course, clearly saw her as the cool girl. You know what I mean? And I want to be, I wish that I could be like the cool kids. But to me, she's corny.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's the thing. At the end of the day, if they viewed her as the cool girl for whatever reason, if it was high school, they're forever going to have that in their head,
true.
even if the audience are like, you're not even cool. Because I think a lot of people thought Heather was the cool MVP of season 1. And at least I liked her a lot. Look at Brooke say, like, I don't know about that. What, Brooke? What?
No, we thought that she was the anchor and she was like fun and
Yeah. She was cool and she thought of herself. In my opinion.
But
if y'all take a gander back to my season 1 recaps of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I will pat myself to blow the horn on them, Greg, and say that I never saw it for Heather. And then I was like, I'm gonna give her a chance because everybody else said just give her a chance. But there was something once again that's so sneaky about her. And to me, she was raised, and when you're brought up under a certain belief system, it's hard to get away. I get that. And when she sat in that confessional and said she loved everything that the Mormons don't like, homosexuals, black men, and something else, I said, not you fetishizing and throwing that out there. And then there was just always something. I don't know. There was, and again, I must make this disclaimer again. When you are raised under something, I get that it could be hard to get out of. But to me, there's still a pull for her. She still wants to be a Mormon, which is why at first she despised Lisa, because Lisa's like, I'm Mormon 2.0. I'm going to do what I want to do and call myself a Mormon. And she's like, whoa, you can't do that. I was raised underneath this. What do you mean? So I just feel like then now all of a sudden you want to be BFFs with Lisa. And I feel like she loves the fame that comes with it. Look, if I was on a show, I probably would too, right? You may start liking it, but I just feel like the Heather that we're seeing now has always been that Heather. She just kind of hit it well.
Here's the thing. I do see, how people love to say that, at least people say that Bravo says this about Giselle being the anchor, the face of the show. I do believe that Heather is the face of Salt Lake City because she does give us that aspect of Mormonism that is so prominent in that city. And I love some of the little things that she brings up. And I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that was like the whole Britney and choosing a man over children. I was like, we probably wouldn't have gotten that from a Whitney or, Mormon 2.0 Lisa. So that's where I sort of like, I twerk on a fence when it comes to Heather. She has no personal storyline. Yeah. But I can appreciate some of her confessionals. She can be very funny. Yeah. And I can appreciate this perspective because very much like what you said, although she has left Mormonism, it's so indoctrinated in who she is, she can't help but still feel lost without it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And she's writing a second book. She's writing a follow-up book on Bad Mormon. So she's working on that. Mm-hmm. And to go back to Lisa and like the whole cool girl thing, you know what I really think it is? I think that Heather and Whitney are both obsessed with Lisa's self-concept. I think that they wish that they could have the self-esteem and the love that Lisa has for herself. Because Lisa, no, this is not any shade because I think that everybody feel that way about themselves. Mm-hmm. Lisa loves herself. She loves who she is. And that's very attractive to people who are very insecure, low self-esteem. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's not so much that she's cool, but she represents what they want to be for themselves. That's a good point about themselves. Because Lisa thinks, and she Lisa thinks that she's the baddest. She knows that she's the baddest. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they want that for themselves. So I think that it's like they want to siphon the energy that she has for herself for them.
And she said that wasn't that her tagline last year? It's okay if you don't love me. I love myself enough for the both of us.
Yes. I love it.
So that is a good point. But then it could end up turning. It's like you almost familiarity breeds contempt. Like you want that, you attach it to it, but then it ends up becoming something that's, I definitely think it's interesting. And I do think it's hot. It's rich how, not hot, but rich how Heather is coming after Bronwyn for the things she said about Whitney. But Lisa was in that car participating in conversations too, and she's not bringing that up. And I talked about this on my show yesterday. It's interesting how Heather wanted to be her friend. Just when you thought you got in, Lisa picks you up and you got to get in the back seat because the new girl is sitting up front in the front seat.
You noticed
that, right?
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Ladies, I know we are running very long, and I apologize because I didn't even give you I need you for like an hour and a half or 2 hours.
Okay.
Do I have you for a little bit longer?
Yes, I had already planned. I almost tried Mary's tactic.
You and I are used to doing a 3-hour podcast.
We went so long. Remember when my computer died because I forgot to plug it up? Brooke, in the middle of everything. He said, and I'm not cutting it out either. Computer went black. I was like, hello?
Keep my fourth wall in. Wait, one thing we didn't talk about. I'm sorry, y'all. This is the Real Housewives Ultimate Takeover.
Let's do it.
One thing we didn't talk about. I don't know if you saw that Dr. Wendy Asefo interview going back to Real Housewives of Potomac when asked about Candace. She's like, "Oh yeah, I just talked to Candace, and she was asking me about the breast pump and thing." It goes back, and I think we've probably talked about this separately. That Wendy and Candace were never really friends.
No.
Because I have to say, Karen's response, she's like, Candace and I talk outside of the show. We're real friends. But when Dr. Wendy's response, I was like, oh, y'all really were never friends. It just continues to confirm for me. Did y'all notice that? What were your perspectives on that?
Candace used to have a podcast that she used to do with somebody, Leah from Leah's Lemonade. And when I think Leah had asked her about or somehow the conversation about how Wendy got on the show came up. They met at a Real Housewives of Potomac premiere party, and they became friends. And then Wendy came on the show through Candace, correct? So they were never friends like that. They met at a premiere party. Yeah. And I don't know if Candace said if it was Candace was throwing the premiere and somehow Wendy was there, but they met at a Real Housewives of Potomac season, premiere party.
Wait,
who did bring Wendy on though?
Yeah, who introduced Wendy on that season?
Wasn't it Candace?
No, I thought it was Giselle.
I can't even remember. You guys remember in the chat? It definitely wasn't Candace.
It wasn't Candace.
Okay.
I think it was Giselle.
Then I forget why they were talking about it, but she definitely said she met her.
No, it was Robin. Robin was her introduction.
But then I thought her and Robin met in the park and were becoming friends with the alcohol. But their kids were playing soccer, and they were like they planned to meet up.
The chat don't know either.
The chat doesn't know either. The chat is split. The chat is saying Candace, it's saying Robin.
It definitely wasn't Candace. It definitely wasn't Candace. I don't remember it being Candace.
I don't remember. Are y'all sure? You guys are all saying Candace now. Are y'all sure?
I think it's because of recent years, people think it's Candace, but I don't think it was Candace.
Y'all, I don't think it was Candace. No, Karen didn't introduce Wendy. Karen said that Wendy was a fan and that she didn't belong in Potomac. It wasn't Karen.
You said it.
Wait, y'all, they're saying no.
They're saying all kinds of different people.
Wait, y'all are saying Ashley now? What y'all talking about?
We all forgot. Replay crew.
Wait,
be sure to let us know the season and the episode.
Somebody said it was the aliens.
Okay, wait a minute.
Okay.
Here we go. This is BravoTV.com, back when Wendy started. She says she got on an interview with the Washington Post. The Post loves the girls, don't they? Ain't that who wrote Karen's story? So she said, I know some of the ladies, we run in similar social circles, and I sit on some of the same nonprofit boards. We know that was with Karen. Since that was the case, it was very organic, and I was approached to do the show. Then she says, it still don't say who, but then she says, Wendy also revealed which cast member she is closest to, even before filming began. Out of the whole cast at the start of filming, definitely Candace. She and I were close. Ironically, for season 4, last season, Candace invited me to the premiere party. I was there, heavily pregnant, supporting my friend. So we've been close. But it still don't say who brought her on. And it wasn't Monique.
No, subscribers are saying that it was Candace. Somebody's saying that. Wait, no, one of y'all just said. I'm looking at the chat.
Hold on. No, Teresa says it was Candace. I just binge watched.
Yeah,
I like trust Teresa.
Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you,
Teresa. I had known.
Okay.
I thought it was.
Married in the Island says Candace, season 5, episode 3. Okay, you guys are right. Listen, you guys are right. I'm sorry. I doubted you guys. Y'all were right.
Because I knew on her podcast they were talking about that.
They introduce you on the show doesn't mean that they're really friends in real life. Just saying.
Because sometimes they set them up, Mia and Karen, because that came out. That it was when Karen said somebody on the show, someone introduced them, a producer put them in contact with each other.
Yeah.
So,
but you know how the Bravo universe is, they believe everything that they see on the show. They believe the majority of these women actually have money.
Well, I'm not trying to be funny, but we know quite a few of them on Potomac came in with nothing, and now they're all dripped out. Now that a particular person came on there with one Gucci bag and a wig that was sliding all the way down. No. And then all of a sudden those checks cleared. And then we see her with the, Maserati, and she dripped in Chanel.
What are you talking about? She's married to the Black Bill Gates that owes the IRS.
I am debt free and loaded. That's what she said.
You got to owe millions to pay to owe millions. Okay.
But a few others too on Potomac. They came in. They weren't broke. We know broke is penniless. Nothing. But we're saying when we say broke, we don't mean literally broke. But I mean, come on. When Wendy first joined the show, her too, she came in with the one Gucci bag, and she, the fits weren't fitting. Now all of a sudden, honey, those checks cleared, full arm, her wrist, Van Cleef down, Cartier down, Tiffany down, David Yurman down. What? She didn't come on like that season 5. She came in with that wig on, the baby hairs were all the way down. And now the hair is herring, body is tea. Done, honey. She's dripped in Chanel. She got a Chanel bag for every occasion. New Range Rover in the driveway. Eddie's looking good. Suit on.
Eddie look good. You better come to stop it, Brooke. Eddie always looks good.
Look, oh my gosh. The way the Potomac was set up, I almost was like, well, can I be out? Rodney the Voice said, to be a housewife of Potomac, all you got to have is a platinum Amex, a nice town home, a nice bag, and some nice heels. I said, all right, well, then let me get on that. I was going to say.
I will be in Neiman
Bar
Marcus.
is low.
I
might as well be a housewife. I could never. I could never.
You've seen the confessionals from Real Housewives of Potomac, right? Some of the confessional looks already. I said, y'all been on this show too long, Ashley Darby.
To not know what looks good.
What messed up wigs.
Girl, I said they must see something different in the mirror. Maybe, you know how sometimes the mirror might be a funhouse mirror and you think you look a certain way, then you see a picture and be like, now wait a minute. I know I didn't look like that when I left my house.
I'm not doing this with you today. They said Eddie Idris Elba.
the Idris of Potomac. Not the Tyler Perry wig line.
Who's Tyler Perry wig line? But Ashley's cheap though. Because Ashley even admitted, she said she doesn't spend money on bags and shoes and clothes. I said, girl, we know.
You're telling
us what we don't. You're very cheap. We don't know what you spend your money on. She's wearing fake bags, fake shoes, fake jewelry. So I'm like, girl, she's very cheap. But I said, you know what? Let me not say what I was going to say.
That she's giving Contempo Casuals and Joyce Leslie and the merry-go-round and Deb Shop.
No, I was going to say something else, Chad. I said,
text me. Okay, look, say it or text her.
Say it.
Child, I guess listen. She just want to make sure that she never go back to the tent ever again.
Oh,
You hear that?
She's trying to save her money. She's saving every coin. She's not trying to go back to the tent, child.
Under the
With
bridge.
Sheila. With Sheila.
I cannot.
She's saving all her coins. She's saving her coins.
Y'all ain't
She
right.
said, no, ma'am.
I didn't mean to go back to Real Housewives of Potomac,
That
but
was
I had
funny.
that thought. Finally, in our ultimate Real Housewives takeover with our guest, the Brooke Ashley, and the host of What Else Is Going On podcast, Taria Faison. All the information is available in the description, guys. Don't forget, we have over 1,200 of you watching. Don't forget to like the video, and shout out to those of you that are part of the replay crew. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and subscribe to their channels and podcasts as well. And speaking of podcasts, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and give us all 5-star ratings. Make it your business. It takes 2 seconds. Thank you in advance. All right. Okay, let me say thank you because we did have a couple of super chats. Amina, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, here we go. Amina says, this live is getting me through this big pile of ironing. I don't like Braun when she gets inauthentic. Lisa is my fave because she's authentic. Flaws and all. Okay. All right. I don't know if I get authentic from Lisa, but okay. Thank you so much, Foxy, for reminding. Shout out to our King's Guards holding us down in the live chat. We appreciate them as well. Mr. Melon Magic with this picture. Thank you for the super chat. Mr. Melon Magic says, Heather just gives lies and not an inbred. I gotta prove these before. Angie's voice always sounds like she's choking on food. RHOP, Wendy's better than me. I would never make up with Nick.
Melanin Magic. Oh, that just made my day. That on that
Oh,
Screaming lies and inbred. Now you know. Y'all are in rare form in this chat because I keep peeking over and you guys,
right.
like, you see me looking over. I'm not making faces. I'm trying to stifle in my laughter.
Oh yeah,
it's hilarious. You guys are in rare form. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
Happy Friday, y'all. Before we get into the Real Housewives of Orange County, there was a promo for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills that came out this week. Just highlighting, that they're coming soon. We don't know a date yet. That will make how many shows on at the same time?
Can't do it.
And I asked you guys at the beginning of this. I mean, it's going to be a lot for us to talk about and cover on a weekly basis. But the ratings for New York and for what was it? Salt Lake City, they had a series low this week.
Man.
What do you think is happening? And do you think adding this additional, this plethora of housewives at the same time, is it going to hurt their ratings?
I think it's going to hurt. And it didn't help with New York that they put them on the same time as the vice president debate with. I think that's what hurt the ratings for New York. They should have waited. Honestly, I think that New York should have come on in the summertime because the summer was stale. It was a very stale Bravo summer. So they could have just put New York. That premiere was kind of stale. So they could have just put them in July. I mean, I don't know. I mean, OC is supposed to be ending, if you look on Wikipedia, November 23rd. So I'm guessing that they're going to put, you can always check Wikipedia and see when the show is going to end. I'm guessing that they're going to start Beverly Hills, maybe the end of November, first week of December, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Soon.
Yeah.
And I think too.
Guys, I'm sorry, Teresa. Sidebar, because I forgot to promote this. I'll be in Los Angeles, guys, for the Kempire After Dark live experience November 20th at the Bourbon Room. So if you are on the West Coast, yes, I want you to travel. Or if you're on the East Coast, come over to the West Coast November 20th for the Kempire After Dark live experience. This is the last U.S. show for 2024. In London, stay tuned. Fingers crossed. But for the U.S., this is our last show. Unless you want to come to London, stay tuned. Kempire After Dark live experience. More information will be available in the description. Go get your tickets today. Taria, what's your perspective on this plethora of housewives that we're getting and how it might affect the ratings?
Well, I was getting ready to say congratulations on the tour. The show is amazing. I got to be a part of it, as did Brooke, and I actually enjoyed being a part of it and also watching and just seeing how people appreciate what you do for them, because you never know what somebody's going through. I mean, you know, whether they're ironing clothes like our girl Amina, or just doing whatever, you know what I mean? You do help people get through their day. So congratulations to that. If you want to fly me to LA, sure, I'll open camp. No problem. Brooke too. We'll be co-hosts. All right, now, so
I wanted to say quickly.
Come on.
I want to say quickly, Kempire shows are everything, y'all.
Yes.
You're gonna have the best time with the consummate professional.
Yes.
It's so funny. You guys get some real tea. I mean, I had the best time. I had the opportunity to host. Phenomenal time, y'all. So if you are in LA, make sure to check out Kempire, because his shows are the truth. You're gonna have a good night out. Like, it's a fun time. So again, I'm excited for you in LA. It's gonna be lit. Like, go out and buy your ticket. You don't want to miss it. I'm telling y'all right now, Kempire gives you a show. He's not like these other housewives who
Come
put
on.
a week and whack live shows. You get an actual show. You get a show. Okay.
Yeah. And it's after dark, so we get a show. Like, pretty much nothing is off limits. So like, we get the real. Yes, he does act up at the show. So go see that. Go see the show. Me and Brooke coming to London with you. Okay, so look.
Come to the London show.
I'm excited. I think it depends. Now y'all got me saying I'm excited, because at the top of the episode, y'all talked about Potomac. So now I guess I'm a little bit more excited. But also, I do think it depends on the night, because Sunday nights generally are kind of like in the Housewives. But now that Potomac is coming back, people are going to be, okay, I got my Sunday night lined up, but maybe like the Tuesday night. Because what did New York come on? Tuesday, right?
Tuesday.
So it's like,
Keep up.
it's a lot to do a Tuesday night, a Wednesday night, and a Thursday night when you've already been invested Thursday night OC. So now we're supposed to do Tuesday and Wednesday. People got children. People got things to do. People got HOA meetings. People got all kinds of stuff. It's like, I can't give y'all 3 nights. So
some of these recaps might be a two-for.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I have to
like
do.
New York and Salt Lake City. Sorry.
No, and OC is hard on a Thursday, because Thursday,
Yes.
Friday, I'm getting ready to go out.
Brooke said she got a social life. Like, absolutely not. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, honey, the doll has dates to go on. People,
Come on, dates.
That's why the OC recaps are my OC recaps are always late. They're always a double recap, because it's just.
I just had an idea for a show. Dates with the doll.
Oh, that's
Come on, Bravo.
Let me produce it.
I was going to say, Kemp, you produce it. Brooke has to give me the exclusive after every show. We'll set it up that way. And then we keep the money in the family.
Got me thinking.
Dates with the doll. Come on, that would be in New York too. That would be so cute.
And we are recording this, so this is live. So this is for the record. So anybody steals this,
we coming after you.
Just saying, lawsuit. Okay, all right. Because Brooke has dates to go to.
I know. I mean,
it's Friday.
I ain't got no date.
Come on, chop.
Okay, let me just say thank you, and then we're gonna get to the Real Housewives of Orange County. And any of your questions, guys, if you have questions, let us know in the live chat for any of the beautiful ladies here on your screen. All right. First of all, what about Dubai? This is the ultimate recap. The ladies, quick thoughts on Dubai season. I got unfollowed.
Oh, I know who did it too.
Oh, do you?
I bet you I do. Does she share the same last name as another cast member?
Wait, I got unfollowed by 2.
Okay, so then the first one I was thinking, does she share the same name as another cast member, but we call her by her last name?
Yes.
Okay, and then was the other one? I'll be shocked if it was this one, but I would. Is the other one, is her last name like a city in Italy?
Yes.
I knew it.
I knew it because I knew it.
You guessed that really well, Taria.
Because the energy, we already know. We can set that energy.
Okay, speaking of Dubai, because this is the Real Housewives Ultimate Recap, and I know it just ended. I'll start with Brooke, because Brooke's got to go.
Brooke's got dates. We're going to see a black empty box. Where did Brooke go?
I'm sweet.
Brooke was like, bye. She didn't even say goodbye. Brooke, because we talked a little bit about this when I dropped by your channel, but yes. What was your perspective on after the season wrapped on Real Housewives of Dubai?
I thought Dubai was horrible.
Oh.
I know that reunion was awful. I don't care about Dubai. I will not be watching season 3. I don't care who they get on. I'm tired. I thought that Lisa Milan was trying way too hard at this reunion. Those receipts flop. Brooks is just so aggravating. And I don't know why she was talking sideways the whole time. About. It was weird.
Like we were doing this whole thing and I was like this the entire time.
So it was weird. It was just, I'm not here. Chanel Ayan is too, she does too much. She's too thirsty for a moment. The screaming and the
girl.
It's just like, girl, they're just not giving anything. It's a sad day when I'm liking Caroline Stanberry out of everybody.
I was so disappointed in Lisa. Lisa was my girl. Like I was like, I love Lisa, but at the reunion when you should have really showed up, her receipts flopped too, and low key kind of proved the other lady's points a little bit. I got what she was saying though about the Chanel. When it comes to that, I do feel like Chanel wanted to jump on the popular girl train.
Yeah.
And was like, I'm gonna be friends. When she got to hollering, I wanted to throw my TV. When they brought, I peeped Chanel's game. She may play the little ditzy up, but she is very calculated. When she said Ozempic makes you cry, you didn't expect Lisa to come back with, you were on it and you turned me on. She didn't think that whole thing through. And then she started screaming. Yeah, I was like, and now it was funny when she said, I'm thirsty, and Brooks was like, we could tell, or something like that. But I just didn't like, the reunion is not the time for you to be above it all, Lisa Milan.
Yes.
You got to get in it. That is not the time to be above.
Especially if you were so desperate to sit next to Andy Cohen. Well, you've gotten your moment. Now
Yeah.
shine.
Yeah, and tell the truth. Even I would rather her have said, check this out. There was a small part of me that was like, she getting close to Caroline, but only because of the things that Chanel was saying to me after they met up. Or just be honest. We can respect honesty and vulnerability, but when you try to play it like, oh, it don't matter, but then behind the scenes, all these things are happening. I was really disappointed in Lisa. Brooks was Brookson. I was liking the season. The season was almost like a palate cleanser for some of the other shows. So I can't even say if I was saying, oh, I like Dubai, but then looking back, you can't put that up against the OC, not even up against the Salt Lake City.
No.
So
okay, that's a perfect segue for us to get into the Real Housewives of Orange County, because I didn't even think to talk about Dubai, because I was like, good, done. Unfollow me, don't follow me back come next season if you get another season.
Exactly.
You won't. You're gonna be just like Summer House Martha's Vineyard.
Wanting to do an interview tour after you on pause. I'm gonna shut up.
Taria, you weren't at the show. Wait, I got two pauses. Because
good.
you were at the New York City show when I revealed, Brooke, that what's his name?
Which one?
I forgot his name already. Damn. House Martha's Vineyard.
Which one?
The tall one that said he was
Alex.
He said he was going to come to the show, and I read his DM to me why he decided that he didn't want to come to the show. You had to be there. Anyways, but speaking of Summer House Martha's Vineyard, I sent these ladies 2 text messages in regards to, they're doing, I don't know if this is a good sign that Summer House Martha's Vineyard is coming back, but they've been doing home tours. I saw Jasmine's home tour, and then I saw Jordan's home tour. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to leave it up to the ladies to say what they thought of the home tours, because the comment section was lit under Jordan's.
Her apartment looked like them wigs. Next caller. Next, not even next. Next caller. It's late in Atlanta. Go to sleep.
Brooke, what was your thoughts on the home tours?
Come on, Brooke.
Great gowns, beautiful gowns. Moving on.
Okay. All right. We're just going to leave it at that. I implore you all to go watch those videos and read the comment section. Not a white refrigerator. Oh,
baby, that comment section, one of them said, what she's narrating is not what I'm seeing.
Wait, did you see when that one person said, Bravo, stop this. Pay these people some real money. The other woman wrote, somebody said, oh, okay, so a home filled with stuff that you stole from a hotel.
Yes.
My God, today. My God, today.
I was crying, laughing, reading those. I said, "Ooh, girl."
And I love home decor. I love looking at it. So I really started watching it, not to I was like, well, let me see. I love New York real estate too. And I thought, let me watch it. And I was looking at it and I was like, this is
When I
not
seen
great.
that blue
And I said,
wall, I said, "This
let
isn't
me read
going
the
in."
comments. I said, maybe I'm not seeing what I'm seeing. And the way that they were dragging it. But what I will say, in all fairness, Jasmine, it's not a lot, but impeccable taste.
Please, that makes a
Yeah.
difference.
Stunning.
Impeccable taste.
She put a 10-pound bags worth of stuff in a 5-pound bag apartment. Like, girl, you can't even move. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That blue wall took me out. Okay.
Okay, let's get to the Housewives of Orange County.
It's on Bravo, guys. Go on Bravo's YouTube channel. They just posted it 5 days ago. It's a house tour with Jordan from Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Those comments will have you on the floor
Screaming.
like I was wheezing.
I told Kempire I pulled over to wait for a ride and was scrolling them comments. Girl, tears were falling out. I was literally crying, laughing. Like, no joke.
And what did I say to you, Taria? Because they just came out of my mouth. I was sending you a voice note.
He was sending me a voice note. He goes, "It's not terrible, just tacky." I said, "If you don't put that on a t-shirt, not terrible, just tacky." Because I was going to send back to you, I think I would rather be terrible than tacky, because you can make a terrible decision and reverse it. But if you make a tacky choice, oh.
I didn't mean to bring this up.
The way he said it, I listened to that voice note twice, crying. He said, "Oh, it was terrible."
It just came out. Terrible. I was saying it to you. I was like, it's not terrible.
I said,
tacky.
People said, "No, Bravo, why would you set her up like that?" People were going in. You had people saying, "This is how I know Bravo don't pay the black shows nothing."
Girl. I'm sorry. When I said 2 rugs in the same, okay, all right.
And look, in all fairness, I just moved. Would I have Bravo TV coming through here taking pictures and doing a video? No. But even with half of what I have, y'all would be like, "Oh, you got taste."
That's what I feel like too. I'll be like, I got my fireplace. I got something.
Okay. Look,
to me, I said, now how you get lost in 600 square feet? I'm lost. I don't even know what. Okay, I'm sorry. This was Kempire's fault. I almost texted him and said, "This is your fault that you got me saying this stuff."
Let me say thank you, because Brooke has to go. She got dates.
Oh, dates with the doll. Dates with the doll. I already see the logo. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So silly.
Rita, thank you so much for another super chat. She says, "We need this trio on a regular basis, please." Well, there's 5 shows, so in order for me to avoid doing each recap, this is what I'm going to do. Sorry. It's a lot more fun.
It is.
That see my recaps, I've been saying it's like, oh gosh, I don't look forward to any more recapping some of these shows.
I know. No, I'm not looking forward to like recapping New York. New York, I might skip the way I did Dubai. I only did like a total of 4 or 5 Dubai recaps. I started at episode 8 with
there were 14 episodes.
Yeah, I started at episode 8.
And to her credit, she let us know. I'm just letting y'all know right now, I'm not gonna be doing everyone. I said, okay.
It's hard, especially when you're doing what you love, to do something that you don't love.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I look, I don't blame you. I mean, I just have this weird thing about me. If I start something, I'm like, I gotta finish.
You have to finish. Yeah.
Unless it's really bad, because there are moments when things were really bad, I just didn't finish. Queen, thank you so much for the super chat. Queen says, "Kempire, please let this after dark be very, very dark. I want to drink all the tea." Oh, it's my last one for the US. It's gonna be a mess in LA, November 20th. I wish y'all luck with this one. I'm gonna be cussing and everything. Judy, see you in LA. Judy says, "This live is everything. Please do this again." Of course. Especially we're gonna be dating with the doll.
Yes.
Okay. Anyways, offline. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, Kempire, Brooke, and Taria for this lovely live. Thank you guys for being here. Look, we could be sitting here talking to ourselves, but you all are here. All 1,200 and something of you. We appreciate it. Lulu, thank you so much for the super chat. Lulu says, this is where the fun is at. Ladies, come to LA with Kempire. I mean, they should. I'm just saying, but you know, 3 said I gotta pay for it. Look, look, the budget ain't budgeting that much.
Gracie, come on.
Look, I'm on. Okay, Gracie, put 3 on time now.
That would be Jordan's apartment. Okay.
I didn't expect that drag, but it is what it is. All right.
I love you, Gracie.
Real Housewives Orange County is, I've been saying every time I recap it, it's not a show that I watched from season 1 because it just wasn't. I watched every other city, including Dallas. But it just wasn't that. And I've watched the last 3 seasons and I was like, oh, okay, last season was a little bit better. This season is such an easy watch. It's so fun to watch. It's enjoyable to recap. I'm going to start with you, Brooke. What is standing out, at least this week? Because we know we're dealing with Shannon and the lawsuit with John Jansen. John Jansen even got a confessional this week. And Shannon dropped the bomb in the text message like, I appreciate the gesture, but I'm going on this trip to London with my friends and you're not invited. Brooke, what are you thinking of the season? And what do you think of the newbies? And what do you think of the biggest storylines of the season?
Okay. So first off, I love OC down. Been watching since season 1. I've always thought that the drama was delicious. The real drama, just fabulous. This season, they are killing it. The last few seasons were kind of just but this season is making up for the few lame seasons. With that being said, I am so here for Shannon letting Alexis know via text that you are not invited. I do not accept your olive branch. It's a little too little too late. But I really want to focus my attention on Emily.
Oh, yes.
Come on.
Emily has been wearing me thin. I never really cared for her when she got on the show. I don't care for her or Gina. If you watch my recaps, you know how I go in on Miss Gina and Emily every chance I get. But with Emily and this whole fashion show debacle, I find it ridiculous that you are projecting your insecurities onto somebody else and trying to make Heather out to be the bad guy. I was irritated with Heather for wanting to initiate the conversation with Emily at Shannon's birthday lunch, because after that display at Jen's house, we're not speaking again. I'm not bothering you about that. And then for Gina to say, oh, when it comes to Heather, it has to be on her terms. She's not authentic. I said, girl, you're the most calculated person on this show, you and Emily, with the fake storylines and the fake beef. So who are you to say that Heather is being calculated? I was irritated with Emily and Gina. I don't feel like we need to keep having the same conversation because it's not Heather's fault. How Emily feels about herself has nothing to do with Heather. Heather was not being malicious. And Emily is so passive aggressive because at the fashion show, Heather asked her repeatedly, are you okay? I noticed that you're feeling a type of way about it. She asked her. Emily said no. So how dare you say, well, I felt bad and I cried in the bathroom. But Heather gave you the chance to say, well, I don't want to wear that. And now you want to blame her? I can't. Emily has no right, in my opinion, to want to play victim when she's been a bully to Jen all season long, talking about her finances, how broke she is.
Come on.
You don't get to have it both ways.
Come on.
So miss me with this whole sob story when you've been very nasty to Jen, making constant digs about her money, how she can't afford the rent. Well, she can't pay her rent. So I guess, she'll pay for the coffee. What? You've been calling her stupid, calling her an idiot because she has a Rolex and goes to travel with her boyfriend.
She has 2 Rolexes, just correct.
2 Rolexes, but it's just I'm just not here for Emily. I had gotten some tea last season that her and Gina were supposed to be let go, and Shannon saved their jobs when she got that DUI. That's why I'm annoyed at Shannon, because Shannon had you just Gina and Emily would have been fired allegedly, and I would have gotten my wish. But here we are. So those are my thoughts.
Oh. Taria, how are you feeling about this latest season? We have to also talk about Jen and Ryan situation, because that was the big topic this week.
Emily is a hypocrite to me. In the beginning of the season, it was Gina had an issue with Jen, saying, you compromised my $50,000 deal, blah, 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 blah. And Emily continued to insert herself in that at the dinners with Jen, continued. Now, when Alexis, although I can't stand Alexis, but when Alexis inserted herself, when they were having that, Emily and Heather were kind of going back and forth. And Emily was like, I wanted you to say X, Y, and Z. And Heather said, I did. And Alexis said, you kept going, Emily. Now you want somebody to stay out of it. When you consistently, you took over this beef from Gina with Jen. I don't feel no ways tired or sad about Emily's situation. It is amazing to me how someone can use their triggers to justify continued nasty behavior, but you don't give the other cast the benefit of the doubt. You always had a lot to say about Shannon, but she got triggers, but Shannon needs to get it together. Jen grew up a certain way, which translated into a maybe not so responsible lifestyle. She was dependent on parents. Someone's always been there to take care of her. It carried into her adulthood because of how she was raised. But only you are allowed to use the excuse about how you were raised to justify your behaviors. Nobody else gets to do that. Heather, when they showed that flashback, I know we're talking about this week, but last week with Emily saying, Heather gets to be pretentious. Heather gets to be an a-hole. No, the problem is you don't like that Heather is being who Heather is. And Kempire has made a great point on his show. I don't think Heather's inauthentic. Heather is who she presents herself is who she perceives herself to be. So this is what I'm presenting, and she's being authentic in that. She was raised a certain way, but you never took the chance to see why she may be how she is, because her triggers don't matter. Just your triggers matter. What she wants Heather to do is look her in her face and said, Emily, I know you're not a size 12. You want her to say it on national TV so that people on national TV don't think that you're a size 12, because she keeps bringing up it being a size 12. Not just that the dress was bigger, but it being a size 12. I'm glad that she's working with the Innocence Project. I don't buy the reason, but if
what do you think? I did love that part, because that conversation should be continued. And I love the fact that it gets the platform, because the audience that's watching it is not us.
Yes,
it's the audience that needs to be seeing that and doing something about it.
So I'm glad that she is. I just think about in the height of BLM, when all of them, she was a conspiracy theorist and all of them had so much to say. Now all of a sudden you're working with the Innocence Project. But if it's going to benefit innocent people, we're going to take that. Yeah.
That gives a different perspective.
Because
I love when you guys come on. Okay.
Sometimes the old housewives that don't be on the show no more be showing you what the people be saying in their group chats. And you know how the people really feel about BLM back then. But people grow.
Oh, not y'all just coming through dropping tea. Okay.
So now you like us. But okay. Now you believe in the movement. But I'm glad we're going to take it as a win. But it's hard for me to buy into that, because Emily gives me Orange County. Emily gives me Red State. She gives me Red State. I'm going to just say, and then how dare you talk about Jen when y'all live off of Shane's parents' money? You've said that. So to me, it's like, I used to tell my kids, you don't get to throw a pebble at somebody and then be upset if they throw a boulder back, because you started. You don't get to be triggered and then dictate my response to how I supposedly triggered you. I did not like that Heather sat down and had that conversation, but I will say this. This should be the end of it forever with Emily and Heather, because she took the time to actually hear you out when y'all think that Heather's not like that. She took the time to hear you out and y'all had a conversation. So if we hear about Emily's next issue with Heather, then we know it's just Emily's insecurity, just like she's insecure around Jen, because Jen looks the way Emily wants to look. She's the orange. I just feel it's that way with Emily and Jen. Like, you said Shane would leave you for a blonde 25-year-old if y'all ever broke up. Well, Jen ain't 25, but she is blonde and look good. That was your issue with Jen. Whoa. How she looked that good? She ain't got no money and she's still being taken care of.
Jealous.
Yes. So I just, but I am glad she read Alexis. And I'm gonna stop with Emily, because I don't want to go too far. I'll just text that to y'all in the group chat, because I really just don't see it for her.
Well, speaking of Jen, first of all, Jen and Katie are breakout stars for me, and they are valuable players on this season. And for newbies, it's hard, especially within the Bravo universe. But I do see a lot of people embracing them, despite what we have read about Katie offline.
Yep. Well, I got some tea from a producer at the New York premiere party, and allegedly, they're saying that Katie might be a one and done.
Oh man.
Why?
Because I guess maybe how she wasn't really well received after she came after Heather. And I do agree that that was the wrong move. I said it in countless recaps. Katie, that was stupid. Why are you talking about drama that you weren't a part of? The whole paparazzi thing wasn't even any big storyline to even try to piggyback off of when you, like, that was so dumb on your part. So that was stupid. But I think that Katie has all the material to be a great housewife. She's very witty. The confessional shade is there. She's fashionable, pretty. She has money, down to earth, fun. That personal backstory with the kids, living with the ex-husband, daddies. Like, I want to know more about that. Like,
I want to know more about the judgment for her being a Karen too.
Come on. Yes.
The personal backstory is there. So she has all the makings. So I feel like, I hope that at the very least, I really do hope that she does get another chance. Yeah. Despite her in the first half kind of blowing it with the whole Heather stuff, I do think that Katie deserves a second chance.
Yeah. And look, they don't really make those final decisions until after the reunion. Yeah. So there still is hope. I think the fact that Katie and Jen have really formed like best.
Yes.
I love it.
I like it because I like them in that they're very different, which I can appreciate. Jen still has a soft place in my heart. I think she couldn't harm anyone, even though she should when it comes to Tamra.
Can I ask y'all a quick question before we go there real quick? I wanted to ask, do y'all think Gina set Katie up?
Do I think that Gina set Katie up? Oh, yeah. I had to think about it. I was like, wait, what happened?
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do. I definitely, because Gina in the very first part of the season, it felt like very much like what Brooke was saying, like her job was on the line, so she was working overtime to be an ish starter. So I do get that she set Katie up, but Katie's a grown adult and she fell for it.
And now it's like she's trying to course correct, like, boom.
But I still like Katie. Me too. I mean, on the show. Yeah. Everything off the show, I'm looking at Katie like,
with a side eye, like, girl, you calling the po-po on people and lying? Okay. Allegedly? Okay.
And $100,000 in a default judgment?
Come on.
Y'all better ask about that at the reunion. Ask for me for the reunion questions because I can't see Andy's tweets yet because Elon says I'm going to be able to see his tweets now. I can't probably respond to them.
No, you listened to the read too, I think, right? Well, Crystal on the latest episode, they talked about how they didn't like that feature and how she doesn't think it's going to last, that there's going to be no block button because of, I don't know if this is true, but apparently with social media, it's to put parameters in place where there cannot be harassment and bullying. But she tweeted something and a person that she blocked not only interacted, retweeted the post. And she said, she was like, oh no, y'all don't want me on this app.
I already knew legally that he was going to have a problem when Elon announced that. I was like, I think he insinuated that when he first owned it too. Yeah. When he first bought it. I think he has to officially get sued in order for them to pull that back. Yeah, but I mean, I'm okay with Andy blocking me. I don't need to go and see his tweets. You guys will send it to me. I don't care.
Exactly.
And honestly, I wouldn't have known until you guys told me I was blocked. I was like, oh, I'm blocked. All right. Anyways. But Jen, so the big thing this week. Oh no, first of all, how are you feeling about Tamra and her return? I mean, I think it was inevitable. Even Jen said it this week. It was inevitable that they were going to have a falling out. But Tamra has been dragging Shannon in her drinking this season. Brooke?
I think it's comical when we've seen Tamra for the last 15 seasons show her entire behind. She's gotten drunk many times. We saw it in last week's episode at Katie's house. She was 3 martinis in, 3 sheets to the wind. Did you see her slurring already? She's sitting there at the table like this. Tongue all out. You know, her eyes were all lowered, you know, eyes flickering like that. She looked a mess. I think that if, you know, you're somebody who likes to have some fun and get inebriated, you have no right to talk about anybody who drinks. You know, I mean, yes, Shannon has owned up completely to what she did. She did something stupid. Yeah, yes, what she did to Gretchen. I'll never forget that. That was so evil. When she got Gretchen drunk in season 4, her and Vicky plotted to get her naked, wasted. And she was plotting to have her cheat on her then boyfriend, the older guy, Jeff, to sleep with her son, Ryan, who just turned 18. Very sick in the head. So I just feel like, Tamra has some nerve to talk about anybody being drunk. We've seen her drunk many a time on this show. The audacity.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I feel, look, as someone that's come into the show late, and I came into the show when Tamra wasn't there, and then her coming back, I do see that she's desperate to keep her orange, and she doesn't really have her own personal story. Even though I did enjoy the season that we're getting a little bit of her personal story and the connection between her, Jen, and Katie. I liked that last week. However, I'm not surprised that she's turning on Jen, but turning on Jen in a way that, even in this moment when she's throwing Jen's questionable, shady fiance Ryan under the bus, Jen's still like saying to Tamra's husband, "Help me with that. Help me with what? Jen, open your eyes. She's an evil person. You are Bambi, and she is the gun."
And she, like, I've said this over and over. I don't like to feel like I can see my housewives clocking in for work. Lisa Vanderpump, you couldn't at first see her clocking in for work. You just be like, "Oh, wow, Tamra, I see you punching a clock." And let me tell you what Shannon, you need a friend that could teach you how to read. Every time we went to a restaurant, when the waiter came over and asked, "What drink would you like?" "You don't have to bring me nothing, because I was going to take a shot for every time her child says she loved her. But since we know she don't, I'll be sober." I would have dragged her from every time she brought up my drinking. "I'll drink to that." "Oh, no, wait, because you ain't got no relationship with her." "I'm sober." She needs to I wish somebody would just take her
on Housewives.
Like, figuratively drag her with words like, "Girl, I would gag you so bad you would get up and run away from the table. There's no way. None." I'm sorry. Like, you would not be like what you're saying. I would be, listen. How dare you? I was so mad for Shannon, and I wasn't like, Shannon wasn't even in my top 100 housewife. Like, I thought she could be funny, but now I'm like, dag, Shannon needs, because what I appreciated when Emily went to Alexis, but way after the fact, everybody would say stuff in their confessionals to defend Shannon to Tamra, but nobody would say anything to Tamra. I would be dragging I'm telling you, bring up my drinking, I'm bringing up your daughter. Let's go. Yep. Every single time. Matter of fact, me and your daughter were going to go and have drinks. She would be sick of me. She would be crying online with that green mask she had on her face. She would be crying, saying, "You can have the job." Somebody needs.
If this was Atlanta, that's the kind of reading we would get.
Yes.
Somebody needs to humble her quickly. And then how is the FBI? I want you to say it. Say it, girl. Say what you got to say while your wife is sitting up there wrapped in a blanket.
And here's the thing. She said Tamra was on Watch What Happens Live and said a lot of incorrect information only for Ryan to send a lawsuit to her. And then she's on Instagram. I just want to apologize. And then the next day, I just want to apologize again. I really didn't say what I said on Watch What Happens Live. I misspoke. I'm sorry.
And it wasn't relevant. It didn't even fit. It'd be one thing because you would have had no reason to mention his friend. If you were talking about him, you had no reason to mention the friend. And then what did she do? She didn't post an apology. And then all of a sudden we see paparazzi shots of her and Eddie. I said, if next season Heather and Shannon are not reenacting those paparazzi scenes like Emily and Tamra were reenacting Heather's, I said, see, they need to fight fire with fire. But those ladies are actually scared of how low Tamra could go. Heather Dubrow has said it on her podcast. Mm-hmm. They've all said, Vicky has said how low that Tamra can go. And sometimes you just don't even want that.
Oh.
But they need to fight fire with fire, like you said before. They need to bring up her daughter because she would do the same thing with them.
Yeah.
Well, Vicky's doing it on her podcast, and Tamara went on Instagram and was like, "Vicky, just leave me alone."
Yeah, you saw that?
Yeah. Now your
daughter outed her on Facebook and wrote that long post about how Tamara neglected them. They would be at home with nothing to eat for days on end. She was always out at events and appearances. How
Maybe
she
she's
chose,
Mormon.
her daughter posted this on Facebook, and
I think maybe she's Mormon.
Y'all are a mess.
She got baptized. She is a Christian. Okay.
Oh. The things we learned in Real Housewives in Salt Lake City, I just thought maybe there's a correlation.
Tamara's daughter, Sydney, the one who doesn't speak to her, I'm just talking to some of the subscribers who were asking who I'm talking about. Sydney went on Facebook exposing how Tamara was a horrible mom and how originally when her and Simon got divorced, she was on Tamara's side. But Tamara was such an awful mom, in her words, that's why she chose to live with Simon and stick by his side, because she was saying that they weren't getting fed when they were with Tamara. And her daughter cleared her on Facebook. And then Vicky brought it up on the podcast. And then that's why Tamara was sobbing, like, oh, leave me out of it. Leave me out of it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a mess. I mean, people could be messy. Folks could be really gutter and mention how Ryan has all those cases and all those charges against him. Let's talk about that. We could talk about how, why does your son have all those cases? Go Google her son Ryan's cases. Go Google them. We can talk about that. I'm not gonna say nothing. I want the
just to clarify, we're talking about Tamara's son.
Tamara's son.
Not the other Ryan in his cases.
No. Tamara's son Ryan. All those cases against him. So I just feel like Tamara's playing a dangerous game because she has a lot of material. But that's the reason why Tamara focuses on everybody else and not herself, because her life is in such shambles, and she knows that she will be on that floor crying in the fetal position if somebody brings up what's really going on in her life. And like Ryan said it in his confessional, her marriage to Eddie is a sham.
Come on. He's sitting up there wrapped in a blanket while you go stomping out.
Exactly. He's not happy. And the way he was upset when he told Katie's husband, Matt, he said, can you cut off her alcohol supply? That's enough. Let that be her last martini. She's done. He looked pissed. He doesn't look happy. That's why they bought that Big Bear house, because they probably spent all that time separately when they're not filming. She's in OC, he's in Big Bear. And they come together when filming starts.
With a big bear?
Yeah.
Because to me, anybody who talks about Schmex as much as she does is probably not really getting it as much as she likes to say she is. And I just feel like with Tamara, it's one thing. We've watched Housewives who are able to bring up conversation and, mess is getting ready to be started organically, right? And then the mess gets kicked off. But with Tamara, it's so calculated, and so like there would be no reason for you to be bringing whatever you're bringing up. Like it's not even fitting into the conversation. I'm telling you, Jen, the energy that she's had online, me and Kempire were talking about this, that you've seen the stuff that she's been posting. If you don't come to that energy, come to the reunion with that same energy, then I'm just gonna have to back away, because y'all see how she is. Y'all see how she is. And the only one that could really handle and humble her is Vicky. Vicky's the only one that could kind of get get her together.
Get her crying.
Yes.
Leave me alone.
But even Vicky sometimes gets scared off, though.
Yeah, that's true. Because
they need to bring Lizzie back. Lizzie was in season 9, and when Lizzie had Tamara leave that trip in Bali early, that's the only time in OC history where somebody checked and cleared Tamara so hard that Tamara left that trip early. Tamara left that table. She was sobbing. Lizzie sat there and clocked her, and I don't understand why Bravo did not bring Lizzie back. Lizzie was great.
Kempire, you would have liked that. Lizzie would be reading Tamara and Tamara couldn't handle it. That's when she got up running from the table, right? Yeah. So you've seen that meme of Tamara running, probably. Empire, you never seen
my meme. I think of someone running from a table is Kyle, but
yeah. Well, she runs from a dinner that she planned. You will never see my face again, because the girl Lizzie was boom giving it to her, boom giving it to her, boom giving it to her, I'm gonna have to find that scene and send
Yes,
it.
please.
It's a good scene.
Please do. Ladies, I do not want to keep you any longer. It's already over 2 hours we've been doing. Well, I mean, you can't do an ultimate Real Housewives takeover with Taria Faison from the What Else Is Going podcast and the Brooke Ashley without talking. Like, this is all us really catching up on everything. All right, I'm gonna sum this up.
Okay.
Because we can't say everything. We'll just have to do this again, like everyone has been saying that they want. But I do want, first of all, let me just say thank you. Because we did have another super chat. Rahina, thank you so much for another super chat. Rahina, the hair.
Yes.
You look fabulous, Rahina.
Yes.
Your hair is laid.
Rahina says, I'm walking in the streets of Brooklyn, cracking up. Thanks, Kempire, Brooke, and Taria. And yes, Brooke is always whacking Emily and Gina, and it's well deserved. Thank you, Rahina. All right. I just want, it could be any of the shows. Sum up what you are looking forward to most when it comes to Real Housewives this season. I'll start with Brooke.
Looking forward to the most. I'm looking forward to the big sit-down conversation with Giselle and Wendy on Potomac. I'm looking forward to SOC, how Bronwyn fits in, and Mary Cosby. SOC in Potomac and Orange County. Definitely looking forward to the reunion. I cannot wait to see what goes down, especially when they bring Alexis out at that reunion. I can't wait to see Shannon go in. I'm looking forward to the OC reunion, SOC the season, and the sit down between Wendy and Giselle and Karen. I guess she's going to deflect the whole entire time. That's disappointing. But yeah, I'm excited for the big three. New York is at the bottom of my list.
Damn.
Big three. I like that. I feel like it's basketball. That's our big three.
Yep, that's the big three.
I like that. I am excited for the rest of the season of OC. There's something about the way OC is. I'm not OC. Salt Lake City. It's bright. There's just something about the way it's shot, the cinematography of it that makes me happy. It makes me feel like, I don't know, I just love watching it. And I love watching beautiful women. So I'm excited to watch the rest of the season. I'm also looking forward to the rest of OC. It's funny because I'm not a reunion girl because reunions make my stomach hurt because I feel like you could bring up a point and I could have a good point, but Andy's going to cut it off because we got to move on to the next. So reunions make me like, so I don't like reunions the least. Like I like them the least of the season, but I am looking forward to the rest of the OC season when the ladies go to London. I think they're going to have a good time. And I am going to say I'm looking forward to watching beautiful melanin women on the screen on Potomac. I have learned how to watch Housewives, and I'm looking forward to watching Mia and just not really taking anything seriously that she says, just laughing. And for New York, I'm looking forward to, I'm a jewelry girl. I love clothes, but I more so love accessories and bags and shoes. I love the way Sai accessorizes a lot of the ladies, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of their looks, honestly.
Okay.
Like I'll be taking screenshots of the rings. Like, oh, I like that. All right. That's David Yurman. I'm gonna go over to Amazon until I get to David. But I like that. Like I'm in the middle. It don't have to be Amazon. I'm in the middle. But I'm looking forward to their fashions.
Okay. And let everyone know, we'll continue with you, Turi, and then we'll go to Brooke. Let everyone know where they can find you and what you have coming up that they can look forward to.
First of all, thank you for having me. I love talking to you and Brooke. I had a good time. I felt like it's just like us just talking and kikiing and laughing about these ladies. You can find me on Instagram at Weigo, WEIGO podcast. That stands for What Else Is Going On podcast. You can find me on YouTube, WEIGO podcast. Wherever it is you listen to podcasts, whether it's iTunes, Amazon Music, Spotify, all the good stuff. What Else Is Going On podcast. Come over to all of the platforms. Have fun with me. We have a good time. And then I just have episodes coming up. Podcast episodes are supposed to drop every Tuesday and Friday. They've been dropping so far. And then I try to do a YouTube video, if not every day, every other day.
Okay. Brooke, what's coming up for you and where can people follow you?
You guys can follow me. Well, no, first of all, again, thank you so much, Kempire, for having me. I mean, this has just been such a treat. I'm always honored, appreciative. I mean, I had the best time. Taria, always lovely seeing you. I love you too, like so much. You guys have no idea. But you all can find me over here on YouTube at the Brooke Ashley. Podcast, the same name, The Brooke Ashley. On Instagram, I'm the Brooke Ashley _. And then on Twitter, I'm always running my mouth, having a good time there. And I'm the Brooke Ash, because Twitter, for some reason, wouldn't let me put my full name, but whatever. It's the Brooke Ash on Twitter. But yeah, that's where you guys can find me. I'm on TikTok too, the Brooke Ashley 1. So yeah, check me out. Have a good time. And yeah, I'm just so happy that we did this. This was phenomenal. The chat, y'all were everything. Yes. You guys are in rare form in the chat. Y'all were great.
You're a part of the panel.
Give it up to the chat. I was going to say, because they have, like, first of all, they're gorgeous. And then the stuff that they have to say, like, so give it up for the chat. Y'all are amazing.
And replay crew, you'll be able to see everything that the live chat had to say. But feel free to share your thoughts on anything that we had to say. And yes, we will definitely be doing another ultimate Real Housewives takeover featuring our guests, the Brooke Ashley and Taria Faison from the What Else Is Going On podcast. All of their information will be available in the description. So go support their podcast and their YouTube channel with reviews, likes, comments, subscriptions, all of that. Thank you all for being here. And yes, thank you, Deborah, for the super chat. And thank you guys for everyone that sent a super chat today or sent a like. Don't forget to like the video. Deborah says, this panel is chef's kiss. Thank you. Thank you, Deborah. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Don't forget to like the video if you haven't already, guys. And don't forget to go follow all of everything. And don't forget, I'll be in LA November 20th. November 20th, I'll be at the Bourbon Room for the final US tour date of the Kempire After Dark live experience. So I will see you guys soon. Thank you, ladies, for being here. Everyone, bye.
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 Ooh, you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll ask you. Follow my lady, just watch your shoes.